going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to yet another episode of the All Pro JAFFOs. We've got a fucking loaded show for you today. Well, we got a not a new person, but we got somebody in here who's going to talk with us a little bit Formula One, as he should be every single week. Ladies and gentlemen, before getting to that, I am the host, JP.
Hey, yo.
And Country K will be in a little bit, but until then, to talk Formula One with us, please welcome back to the show, the quarterback, Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yeah, I got the sound effects for you, bro. What's happening, man? It's been a little while since you've been on here.
Yeah.
Has Formula One been that boring?
Well, I mean, haven't really been able to talk. Just been dealing with work.
It's okay. It's okay. We all got shit that we got to do, but hey, let's get into it. The Russian Grand Prix was this weekend. No,
What?
no, it wasn't. It was
What?
fucking canceled.
Yeah, you know why.
Yeah, we all know why. We all
need
know
to talk
why.
about it. Next subject.
So there's another bye week for Formula One. The next race that they were going to be in is in Singapore. Is it Singapore?
Yep.
I don't think it's Singapore. It is Singapore, right?
Yeah.
The Singapore Grand Prix. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, he's finally in.
Oh my
Please
God.
welcome show the 6'10" beast from the southeast, Mr. Country K.
Konnichiwa, people.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
And we're going back in it, like I said. So it's the Singapore Grand Prix this Sunday. I'm looking at the standings right now, and you and I talked about it a little bit off air about the possibilities, but at least the top five drivers right now in the driver standings, you have Max Verstappen, obviously number one with 335 points. Charles Leclerc with 219 points at the number two spot. Checo, Sergio Perez, 9 points behind him in the three spot. George Russell, not too far behind them at number four with 203. And Carlos Sainz at the five spot in 187. The next closest one is Lewis Hamilton at six with 168. And everybody else is pretty much a non-factor.
Doesn't matter.
It does not matter. It's pretty much all over for them. Constructors Cup, the top three, you have Red Bull, who's been dominating. Obviously, Checo and Max being at 1 and 3 in the driver standing is very helpful for this. So you got Red Bull at 545, Ferrari down at number 2 at 406, Mercedes at 371. And once you get out of the top three, it kind of doesn't really matter. The next closest one is Alpine with 125 at the number 4 spot. So once again, it's all about the top three here. And getting into the Singapore Grand Prix, you had said that it's hard to pick a winner and everything like that because a lot of guys are getting grid penalties and essentially getting sent to the back of the line. And, unless you're one of the elite racers, getting sent to the back of the line is...
Meaning Max, but...
Well, but
that's nuts.
Why is that, though? So why are these grid penalties coming for what essentially is an engine swap, a power grid swap?
Yeah, it's an engine swap. So each team gets a certain amount of engines that they can swap in and out. You can't run a engine, with that kind of performance very long. It doesn't, you can make it the best engine in the world. It's still going to give out. You're pushing that engine to the limit. So they do have to replace parts, and they have to replace, internal combustion engines and those things. When you run out of them, you still have to do it if you want to stay competitive. You take the risk, and you take those good penalties. So
how many swap outs do they get before they start getting penalized?
I believe it's 3 or 4. Can't remember.
So we're just past the midway point of the season, right?
We're a few races past the summer break.
Yeah, so we're looking.
We're definitely in the closing stages here. There's only, I think, after
there's
this
6
race
races
and,
left.
Yeah,
6 races in total, including Singapore, all the way to November 20th out there in Abu Dhabi.
yeah.
Damn. So, is it? I mean, since they have 3 or 4 engine swaps by this point into the season, I mean,
Well,
you
the
think
thing you also
Formula
have to think about is they're swapping out these engine parts, right? They're brand new parts. Not every team chooses to do that or has the budget to do that. It's kind of why they introduced the whole salary cap system and that type of thing, because it really wasn't fair that 2 or 3 teams every season could sit there and keep up, and we got 8 new engines, 6 new engines, that we can build, and the other teams can't afford it. It's still a $5 million piece of equipment just in the engine. It's not a freaking it's definitely not one of your road cars.
That is so wild to me. You spend $5 million for an engine that's only going to last you really like 2, maybe 3 engines.
It usually lasts. It lasts about 6 races.
Well, if it lasts about 6 races, then why the fuck are all these teams getting grid penalties already?
Because we have.
If we're saying one engine can last 6 races,
yeah,
most of these teams, and if you have 3 to 4 engine swaps, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So by the Spanish Grand Prix,
by design,
virtually everybody.
By design, they're supposed to last at least 5 to 6 races, right?
But
typically, some teams will wait. Some teams will sit there and pull the trigger, put a new part in there. You don't see it a whole lot at the beginning of the season. You tend to see this towards the end, just because everyone's looking for more, performance. But when you have,
races are to kind of see what you got.
Yeah, but on top of that, like you forget that not every team swaps their parts when either Red Bull does it or Mercedes does it. So they have brand new engines that run cleaner, faster, harder. It's like just like wear and tear. The other cars have wear and tear on their engines and everything, and you come out with brand new, you're gonna smoke everybody.
You think Formula One might get to a point where, I mean, I don't know if this would be considered extreme. I'm still, fairly new to the sport, but in order to, I guess, further crack down on the competition level and everything, to make it mandatory to wait until the engine's, I guess, like done. So if it lasts 6 races, we'll give it. I mean, not say okay, you got to go till 6 races. Go to like 5.
Well, that's why they have the penalty system in.
Because
you know
they
what
don't want. I mean,
obviously they don't want you changing engines every freaking race. Because that'll just brand new parts. Like.
Well, what I'm saying is it kind of prevents when you say, okay, if these engines last 6 races,
they're supposed to.
Then if they're supposed to last 6 races,
some teams push harder than others. It's really just about what they can extract out of the car, what the driver can do. I mean, they're modern marvels, yeah, but like, as far as implementing a system that, I mean, the system they have is fine already. I just wish that the grid penalties weren't just so abundant towards the end of the season. They should give them, more swaps before they can, before they incur grid penalties. But it's
how about the severity?
Because in Formula One, you never want to stop innovation, right? As long as they're within the guidelines of the rules, why not? That's what these cars are built for. They're one of a kind. Every single one of them.
I'm starting to look at it when you get to, I mean, because again, you're looking at the end of the season right now, the last 6 races of the season, and Max is, I mean, he's sitting pretty. He's almost a guarantee.
Red Bull gave him a car, man. The guy's a hell of a driver.
I mean, like, he's almost a guarantee shoe-in minus any disastrous, like they DNF fucking the next 3-4 races out of the 6.
Well, even if
Max
he wins in Singapore, he has to take first place. He could sit there and not race the rest of the season. Would he do that? No, because you still have constructors. And that's really what Red Bull wants. It's been 8 years in a row that Mercedes has won constructors. 8 years.
You get that number Christian 1 spot, Horner, you get the big money.
We got the world championship for the driver last season. It's his turn to return the favor.
Very good point. So it's okay. So what does Max need to do to clinch it before the 6th race, before the race in Abu Dhabi?
He just has
He needs to come in first. What, the next? I want to say
race.
The next race, and Charles needs to DNF.
No, he would win it outright. The driver world championship, he'll win it outright if he wins in Singapore.
Really?
But yes.
If he wins first place in Singapore, he's the world champion already.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
that's how far ahead he is. If it would be a different story if Leclerc had been finishing right behind him in every race, but he hasn't.
Yeah, no, he's been.
Ferrari has ensured that. I don't know what the hell's going on with them. Just,
So can you explain for people who are kind of, again, fairly new to Formula One and racing, for that matter, when it comes to strategies, what is it about Ferrari strategies that has been absolutely shooting them? I mean, I'm learning more and more as I go, and I'm learning kind of like depending on how much, like the tire wear and when you should pit, giving up, how far ahead in first place or whatever ahead of the next guy do you need to be before you end up pitting and all that other kind of stuff. What is it about Ferrari's strategy that's been essentially shooting them in the foot? Because they don't have a bad car. And Leclerc is by no means a bad driver.
That's why everyone's up fucking Ferrari's ass, is because they friggin' know. Everybody knows that Ferrari has one of the, the best, if not second best, car on the grid. They have the most complete car. They're not as fast on the straights like a Red Bull, but they're faster than Red Bull through the corners, through the medium corners, all that stuff. So they're quicker out of their turns. They've got a great car. It's just when you have a strategist who's telling you to pit at the wrong times, giving you the wrong tire compounds, not taking advantage of a pit when you need to take it, waiting too long. And now they're sitting here. They have no idea what's going on. They have to run everything through Leclerc because, the last race, it literally sounded like the chief engineer was asking daddy for seconds in food and stuff. Like, it's like a redheaded stepchild asking his stepdaddy.
I've been hearing the audios from Leclerc's car, and he's just not happy. He is so pissed off.
Why would you be?
With 100% of the decisions that are being made?
The first half of the season, you were killing it. You were right there with Max, right there with him.
Yep.
And then fucking 6-7 races in a row, Ferrari gives you the shaft to, like, come on. I'd be pissed too. Be sitting there asking them to run every strategy behind me so I can pick one because I'm a better decision maker than whoever the hell it is they have at Ferrari. Like,
would that be a reason why Leclerc? So, what would make a driver want to leave? Obviously, things aren't
they're under
working. There's no
contract.
agreements.
No driver is going to want to leave. They might be unhappy, but they're not going to want to leave.
Mm.
And drivers typically don't leave on their own terms unless they're retiring. It's just the seats in Formula One are so elite, so hard to obtain. Like, them just being in Formula One is enough. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can play, you can drive for your dream team and all that stuff, like a lot of these drivers do. But they're not going to sit there and be like, I don't want to be with this team anymore because they suck and I can't do anything. They can complain about the team all they want, but you threaten to take that seat away, and they're the most compliant people on earth.
I mean, because now we're seeing, Ricardo's leaving again for another team. Like, what is it about Daniel Ricciardo that you like, that you don't like? Because from what I'm looking at with him, he seems to be like, yeah, he's the funny guy that everybody gets along with, like all the racers and stuff, and like kind of get along with him. But it seems to be, if something doesn't go his way with this team, with whatever team that he's on, to the T, 100% his way, he's out. He's gonna go find another team for another situation whenever the contract's
Well,
up.
it's also McLaren being tired of his, lack of performance. It's not just him, wanting to leave. It's not just him bagging on McLaren. It's like, why?
It's McLaren going.
Exactly. McLaren's sitting there going, you know what? We paid you a shit ton of money because we thought we had something in you, and you've underperformed.
Lando Norris has been much better.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. When you have, a teammate who's driving essentially the same car as you by every means, and he's whooping your ass all season, that's the benchmark in Formula One. Your benchmark is your teammate. I know they make it sound like, oh, he's a teammate, he's this, he's that. You know what? They don't give a fuck. They hate their teammates most of the time, because that's your benchmark. That's how
as everybody, your teammates, they still realize that
that's why it's so hard for anybody to outshine at Red Bull, because I mean, yes, Max is their golden boy. They're gonna do as much as they can for him. And Checo did a great job of, at the beginning of the season, sticking with him and being a good teammate. And then when he had enough, when we all had enough, he was like, you know what, we need to talk. Regardless if he had the pace or not, but like the team orders had to stop at some point, because I mean, these guys want to win.
Yeah. I mean, it's a competitive nature. Yeah, you want you want the best for your team and your team, but at the end of the day, there's only one world champion.
Exactly. And that's what the drivers care about. You got your constructors, obviously, your team bosses and all that stuff that sit there and say, I can give a fuck about the Drivers' Cup. But, like, drivers have their thing, the constructors have theirs.
And Checo, I mean, at least for the most part, there was that time in the beginning it was like, yeah, let him race. Like, don't, like, let him actually compete. If anything, it's going to make
he's just falling off.
I mean, after that, it's just what I was thinking.
Wagon. That's all it
a little bit after. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he's been, up until just recently, he's been the ideal teammate for Max, and I think he accepted that role pretty well.
No driver's going to sit in that role for very long.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Up until recently,
yeah,
where he's like, all right, you know what? I think I'm actually just as good. I've won some races and stuff like that too. I'm sticking in here. I can, do this shit as well.
Yeah, but
but all of last year,
yeah,
and at least the beginning of this year.
Last year he underperformed as well as a Red Bull driver. You know, he should have been right there with him. The standard is double podium for Red Bull every time. That's the standard. So when you're coming in and you're putting in, you know, 5th, 6th place, 4th place, that's a failure. Like
It's either 1 and 2 or 1 and
good
3.
point. That's a failure. Like by every means.
So let's see. What do we?
You know, each driver has different expectations. Max is expected to win almost every race. That's what Red Bull pays him for. You know?
I mean, the kid is. I asked you about it after. I asked you about it after he won, or like just after he won his first world title last year. And I asked you, does this kid have the capabilities of being one of those upper echelon, once in a generation talent, Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher style, winning over 100 races, 5+ world championships, you know, driver championships for himself? Is Max that type of driver? From what you've seen, does like, yeah, you have, you know, you're a Red Bull fan, you all that other kind of stuff. I get that. But from an unbiased opinion, looking at Max Verstappen and the way he drives,
yeah,
he looks like that type of guy.
he can be. It's just the way he drives. He needs to figure it out. He can't just sit there and dive bomb on guys, and you know he's gonna have a very short career. You know, he's been doing great. He's been patient. He's been, you know, he's learning. So yeah. It's good to see. You know, have we seen enough of him, you know, being that clean racer that, you know, doesn't, you know, not finish races? You know, can he, that type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can be, but he just needs to figure it out.
I mean, he's only, I mean, that is one thing about it. He is a uber aggressive driver. Very aggressive. On the turns, on everything. Like, he's expecting, like, you to back out. Because he's not going to back out.
Well, I mean,
it's a game of chicken. You're not going to win.
You have to have that mentality, but, I mean...
That causes him to DNF at times. That causes him to crash.
That's why he became that guy who's known as he either DNFs or he wins. You don't want to be that guy, bro. Like, you know, it's not a good look.
I mean, even though winning first place is good and all, you know, the DNFs and the crashing, it's just...
You take those DNFs away, he won it. You know, he already won the Driver World Championship. You know, like...
First and third race of the season, you take that away. He's already...
You know?
Yeah, because I was looking at the points right now. I'm like, goodness gracious, he's
destroying everybody.
Yeah. I mean, under your knowledge, do you know if there's ever been a bigger gap? When's the earliest somebody has won a world championship?
Not off the top. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Because I don't know. I guess
I'm on my phone, so I can't like search it because then it'll drop.
Yeah, I'm looking at that going because if he's all like it, again, if he wins first place in this race, he wins the world championship with 5 races left. I mean, I'm trying. I really want to see who.
Yeah. It would have been either this race or the next race where he would have clinched, but it would have been next race if Leclerc had been sticking with him on points and like staying, you know, and then Leclerc taking these late DNFs and, you know, these, you know, absolute horrid strategies from Red Bull or from Ferrari, you know, but yeah, no, I'll tell you who I'm excited. I'm excited to see De Vries.
De Vries? Is a new kid coming in?
That new kid from he raced in the last one. He placed 9th for Williams. When he filled in for Albon. And thoughts and prayers to him too.
Nick DeVries.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to
What happened
Albon
with?
as well.
Oh, that's right. He got in that crash, huh? Did he
Um,
get into that wreck or wait? What happened to Albon?
no, he had like a surgery or whatever that got messed up. He had like an anesthetic, fucking something.
Shit.
But they had to put a tube in him, and it's bad.
Damn.
But he just made it home, which is good. But we still hope for a speedy recovery because that shit is scary.
And then Nick DeVries is he or so Albon's is he out for the rest of the season?
I don't know. I don't know. It just depends.
Let's see what he ends up doing. We got the Singapore Grand Prix here on the West Coast. It's at bright and early sunshine, 5 a.m.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be up for that one. I'm gonna have to stream that one when I wake up.
But it'll be 6 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah, whenever I wake up, well, it's probably just no. It's gonna be like 7 o'clock for me, but if it's 5 a.m. for you, it's 7 o'clock for me. Yeah, I'll probably stream that.
I'm gonna sleep in. Fuck this. Like,
and I won't even sleep in. I'll wake up at 9:30 and then get out of bed. But by that time, the race will be over.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get up. I've got
It's okay, man.
Got a wedding this Saturday to go to, so I might just sleep in and just check out the highlights and stuff like that after that. But anybody else who is up at 5 a.m. in the morning on Sunday, get your Formula One view in before NFL Sunday starts, so you can get back to back with Formula One and NFL on the day. Caleb going to the Singapore Grand Prix. Is Max Verstappen going to clinch it? Or does it look like somebody else takes the win?
We'll have to see him practice and free practice and qualifying. Singapore sucks. The track sucks. There's a lot of DNS in Singapore.
So
Sucks.
that would
it's a tough track. It's a tough track. So we'll have to see. I do think I do think Perez at least spins out in practice or qualifying. One of those two.
not in the race. He finishes the race though.
I think he finishes the race only because he spun out before, and if he doesn't finish the race, then it's gonna look bad.
How far is Sergio Perez into his contract? Do you know?
He's just extended.
Okay. Well then, he's there for a little bit longer. He needs to prove himself even more.
So obviously, there's gonna be a stipulation in that motherfucker saying that Red Bull can cancel at any time. So
like a monthly subscription. Ladies and gentlemen, go watch Formula One. Appreciate Sunshine for being on with us.
I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to that.
Nope, you're not, and it's gonna make me laugh every single time because I knew I had to get it on here.
I'm so happy my pain causes you happiness.
It's a brotherly thing.
Yeah, I know. I make your life a living hell outside of the podcast, so.
Absolutely. So then I make yours a living hell here.
Eh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll be all right.
All right, bro. I'll see you later.
See y'all.
Oh man. Now, so I feel like Kay's computer did something because he's been in and out the entire time or that entire conversation. But it's good to have Sunshine back on, being able to talk about Formula One and everything. I know he likes to talk about Formula One It's just, like you said, a matter of work days and stuff like that make it difficult for him at times to be able to get on. But every time that he can, he'll be able to join us and talk more about the Formula One seasons. And once again, Singapore Grand Prix this Sunday, 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 or not 5 p.m., 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're awake and you want to watch some racing before the NFL Sunday begins, go ahead and do that. Coming up next in the show fairly soon, we've got BoxingInsider.com's Hans Themistode joining us. We'll be talking about the last fights that have happened and the fight schedule that's going to be coming up. Just waiting on Kay to figure something out. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Da, da. There we go. Let's see. Boom. All right. I know we're good chopping in and out, freestyling here. To get in and out of this whole thing. All right. Now, let's see. What do we got here? Let me switch things over because now it's just me for a little bit. And then talking to myself can be, I know, fairly boring for you guys. Oops. Da, 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 da. There we go. Just being quick with it. Because again, I got to do all my stuff on my phone. I've got all the stuff here on the computer. It works. It works when I'm not doing things that I want to be doing, like being able to stream off the computer to be able to use my phone to uh, talk with all of you guys, be able to get on the social medias and everything like that, and live chat or tweet and all that kind of stuff with you guys. But until I get better equipment, it is what it is, my people. Let's see here. Get this up. And on the audio version, it will, or I will at least edit this part out. So at least on Spotify and stuff that you guys won't be just hearing me talking to just myself. Ah, here he is. It's okay. Uh-oh. He's here, but he's not here. Hans is about to jump on as well.
I just sent the fucking message. It just keeps booting me out. Like every time I log in, it boots me out, and then it fucking says try again. I press the thing again, and just been doing that shit for the last fucking 10 minutes. And I just said, fucking, I'm gonna wait, give it some time, and then I fucking did it again right now. And lo and
But
behold,
you're
it's about
here
to.
now. We'll see what happens. We will.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What the fuck?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, now you coming in now. I could not hear you the whole fucking time
Oh,
until now.
I don't know. Well, seem to be having this. Are you on your phone or your computer? I don't think you heard me. You hear me?
I'm on the computer.
Ah, okay. Now you heard me. It's a late ass reaction.
Yeah, hold on. Look, it's my homegirl.
Oh, Yep, booted him. I was just waiting for it. I knew it was coming. Like, oh, can't hear him at all. Oh, there he is. Is he alive?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, cool. Yeah, like I was saying, it's my homegirl's Wi-Fi. I'm at her shit's trash. I'm on my hotspot now on my phone. It's crisp now. You see how crisp and clear this shit is? Like we gotta have a real conversation. She over here butthurt as fuck. Fuck that. Your shit garbage. You know what I mean? Fuck you talking about?
Garbage. The McDonald's Wi-Fi. What do we call it?
I'm telling you, I had to put the Pittsburgh on it.
Oh no. So Hans says his computer doesn't support. Oh no. Oh no.
No, he probably have to download. He probably have to download fucking Chrome like I did. He probably has the Apple. You gotta download Chrome. Same thing I had to do.
It can be done from your phone or Chrome. He just Yeah, he just messaged me right now. Hey, it says my computer doesn't support that link. He's like, were we not on Zoom last time? And last time he was with us, yes, we were still using Zoom. We were not on StreamYard. Remind me later to remind others when we have guests on the show that we are not on Zoom, especially the ones who haven't been on in a while, that we're not on Zoom, we're on StreamYard. So if you have Chrome or you have an Apple product on Safari and stuff like that, whether it's your computer or phone, it'll be compatible. But you at minimum need Chrome or Firefox to be able to join the link on StreamYard. And I'm pretty sure StreamYard is attempting to fix that problem. Hans says it's downloading now. Yeah, he's doing the same thing you did. He had to download that shit first.
Hey man, I'm telling you, like Safari is already uploaded. So it's like, why download something else when it's already uploaded, right?
You would think. I mean, I didn't have to do Chrome on my phone. I can do it on Safari on my phone.
Well, on the phone, yeah. On the phone, that's what I was saying before. I'm like, I didn't have to do all that on the phone. It just works. For whatever reason, the phone version is compatible, but the actual, computer version is not. Because I did it last time we was on the episode. I was on because remember my computer was down. The last two episodes have been on my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Now I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, when it comes to the actual Apple computers and stuff like that, you still need to download either Firefox. It's not Safari. You have to download Firefox or Google.
I'm right now getting the pictures off of this shit. I was trying to figure out the problem with StreamYard first, but plugging in the fucking thing right now to get the pictures off the chip.
Oh yeah. Sounds good.
I got one of a receiver that was hurt. Number one, he had the grill. I'm gonna be honest with you, that picture was fucking dope. When I took it, I was like, that's a fire ass picture. I'm like, wherever he's from, he's sitting at home. Wherever he's from, he's sitting at home.
That was a good game. And we'll get more into the San Jose State game and stuff once we get off with Hans when he gets on here. But it was a fun game to watch. It was fun to cover, to be honest, and everything too. And ladies and gentlemen, aha! For the second time, we welcome back to the show BoxingInsider.com's Hans Themistode. Yes, sir. How we doing, Hans?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. That's a pretty dope entrance. I like it a lot.
We came into StreamYard and we figured out we can do all these different sounds and stuff like that. So I think we're going to be sticking with it for a while to make things a little bit more lively, other than just a blank Zoom call for everybody to be able to watch. So,
Yeah,
but
no, this is definitely a little bit different, but it's still pretty cool though.
yeah, as long as it's cool, that's all we're looking for. We've had a good few weekends of fights. You have been busy. You just got an exclusive with was it Crawford?
Yes, it was Crawford. Yes, yes.
So, I mean, that's big time, man. That like just all you want to talk to is you.
Yeah, it was pretty dope, man. Brought like a slight tear to my eye, only slight. So it was pretty dope. Ironically enough, it's actually Crawford's birthday tomorrow, so it's pretty cool.
And then, so I wanted to talk to you about that. Or at least with Crawford Spence. The fight was announced, and then I believe it was Spence in a sparring session tore his bicep or something like that.
Oh no, I mean, don't listen to those rumors, man. Like,
Okay. Okay.
people don't.
I need to hear from you. What the hell is going on, and why isn't this fight already coming right now?
I mean, when I spoke to Crawford, I'll tell you right now, he told me straight up, don't ask him about the Spence fight. So, I respected it and made sure that I didn't ask him about the Spence fight. But the rumors going around was that it was Crawford who like tore his bicep during training. Complete BS, man. Like complete and utter BS, man. Like that same day that those rumors came out, when I saw Crawford, apparently he had like made some bet with like one of his friends and he lost the bet and he did like 25 push-ups. So I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be able to do that with a torn bicep. So yeah, pretty BS.
Oh man. So at this point, all we need to be looking at is you for the straight up stuff instead of
Uh,
all the rumor swirls and all that kind of shit that go on. Because I mean, when it
I
comes to the
wouldn't
fight
say
game,
I wouldn't know because that would be me just like tooting my own horn. I'm not gonna
we'll
do
toot
that.
it for you. We'll toot it for you. That's fine.
I appreciate it, man, but no, that wouldn't be right. But I mean, there's a lot of reputable guys out there that know exactly what they're talking about. And in my view, from the people that I talk to, the fight is gonna happen, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, it does seem a little weird that no announcement has been made or anything like that. But I am 100% confident that that fight happens next. I'm going to say 99.9% confident that it happens next. So, from
Will
everything
we
that I've
get
been
it?
told, it's going to happen.
Will we get it at the end of the year, or is it something that's going to come next year?
No, it's supposed to be at the end of this year, man. It's supposed to be. I mean, boxing is it's a really weird sport, man. And, you know, sometimes people just lie, or sometimes you get stuff um, when you don't expect it. But I'd be pretty surprised if it didn't happen at the end of this year. And I'd be surprised if either guy fought somebody else in the interim, honestly.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, I mean, again, everyone is foaming at the mouth for this fight. Everyone's been waiting patiently, some impatiently. Obviously, a lot of the words and rumors and stuff like that that go around. I mean, and me myself, I want to see this fight, but the last few weeks we've had some pretty interesting ones. You just covered Shakur and I I don't want to butcher the last name.
Council Cal, yes, Council Cal,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I
That,
butcher his name all the time.
I mean that fight. Um, I mean the weigh-ins and stuff like that going into it. Shakur was overweight by not by much. It
1 point.
wasn't like it was. Yeah, it wasn't anything egregious or anything like that. But I mean, still had to vacate the titles. He's already said that he's going to go up to 135 now because he can't keep the 130 weight. But when you were there, um, now that we know that Shakur is going into 135, what are Shakur's chances? Because he looked pretty damn good on that in that fight.
No, for sure. Wait, so are you asking me what are his chances? Like what's exactly the question?
No, like what are his chances like going into the 135 division? Like the fights that can be lined up for him. Does he stand a good chance in the 135 division?
Um, it's gonna take it's gonna take somebody that is next friggin' level to beat Shakur, man. Like really, really next level to beat Shakur Stevenson, man. That kid is. I don't even want to call him a kid. He's a grown man, but that dude, he's ridiculous, man. It's kind of hard for me to favor anybody over him. Um, I do think that Devin Haney against Shakur is a fight that you're just like, okay. I wonder what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I think a lot of
Yeah.
people are also kind of sleeping on Ryan Garcia. If he decides to settle back in at 135, I think he has a hell of a chance against Shakur as well. Um, but a guy that a lot of people are sleeping on is Vasily Lomachenko. And if he comes back on October 29th, looks like Lomachenko, he might be the one guy at 35 that I would possibly favor over Shakur. But he has to look like his normal self. If he does, that's gonna be a real problem, man. A real
I'm trying
problem.
to figure out how Loma is slept on. How
Um,
was it just the last few fights weren't as impressive as it to get like what is it that people are sleeping on Loma for?
no, I wouldn't say his last few fights because his last two fights were against Richard Comey and Nakatani, and he looked incredible. But he is 34 now. I believe he turns 35 in February. He hasn't fought in close to a year, and unfortunately, in boxing, when you see somebody who doesn't have like a perfect record, people kind of look at him and kind of say, "He's been beat before. He could be beat again." But I'm just telling you, man. If Loma looks like Loma come October 29th, man, I think people kind of forget how incredible
Oh,
Lomachenko is. He's incredible.
oh yeah, the dude is his footwork, and when I first saw him coming out at the professional level, was I was dumbfounded because the dude moves in ways I haven't really seen anybody move. His angles that he can get on people in the blink of an eye is insane to me. And even at his age, 34, uh, if I'm anybody, and this is my own opinion, if I'm anybody, I would not ever sleep on Lomachenko ever. That dude is
Yeah,
nuts.
I mean, yeah, but I remember I was talking to Tim Bradley maybe like 2 months ago or something like that, and he did favor. I think he favored both Haney and Shakur over Loma. He said that Loma's a great fighter, but he did favor them both over him. And he made it a point to say that if you take away Loma's angles, then he's a pretty regular fighter. but it's like almost impossible to take away his angles, though. You know, it's almost impossible. So good luck with doing that, man.
Yeah, it's like you're talking about an elite level boxer here. Like that, just it yeah, like you said, good luck. It's easier said than done, for sure.
Mm.
And we also had uh Triple G and Canelo, which I saw the fight, my grandpa for the first time in a long time. I finally got to watch some boxing with him, and that fight to me, one, did not look at all like the old Triple G, and it was just, I don't know if it's old just age or what it was, but Canelo was running circles around him.
Yeah, but that I mean, it shouldn't have came to a surprise to anybody. Um, I know there was a few people that were kind of picking Triple G. The majority were picking Canelo, but Triple G hasn't looked the same since maybe his second fight against Canelo. I'm trying to think who he fought after that. But yeah, it's been quite a while since Triple G actually looked like Triple G. So it wasn't surprising at all. I didn't expect Canelo to stop him because unless you have a baseball bat, you're not gonna stop Triple G. Like that's just not gonna happen. And plus, I kind of notice. I don't even notice it, but fighters have told me that when there's a guy that kind of talks a lot of crap and he says he's gonna go for the knockout, in the back of their minds, they're trying to make sure that okay, I'm not gonna get knocked out. Like, yeah, they want to win, but they're always trying to make sure they don't get knocked out and stuff like that. But yeah, it's Triple G just not that guy anymore, unfortunately, man. He's 40 years old, man. He's not that guy anymore.
I mean, with I kind of looked at this as a Canelo taking a fight after getting beat by Bivol to, I guess, like a regaining of confidence type of thing. It's Triple G, it's the trilogy that people were waiting for, I guess, for a long time and stuff like that. I know I can beat this guy. Just kind of get all the confidence in the world back up. But do you see Canelo going up in weight again? Because when he did fight against Evil, he seemed uncomfortable at
Um,
that weight class.
yeah, I see him going back up to 75. Um, I know Bivol has said before that he can make 68, and I don't doubt that he can. But if Canelo were to fight Bivol at 68 and win that fight, he wouldn't get as much credit as he would if he fought him again at 75. So
Hmm.
to me, I think he's gonna fight him at 75. Canelo has a lot of balls, man. A lot of balls. He lost that fight fair and square, and he was just like, nah, I need that win back, and I'm gonna fight you at your weight class. So that's what I see him doing for sure. And I think it's the right thing to do too.
Yeah, he's not one to, or at least in my opinion, he doesn't seem to be one to be ducking fights. I mean, with 52 wins under his belt, that's a lot of fights, and only two of them coming to one, a weight class that, again, at that time it just, he felt uncomfortable, and the first
Can
one was to Mayweather.
Canelo actually has 58 wins when I just thought about
I'm so sorry,
it.
58
58,
wins.
yeah,
I apologize for the disrespect, Canelo. I'm sorry.
yeah.
58 wins.
Yeah.
Like the guy, he's gonna go down in history as one of the best boxers to do it.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think, at least I think so. And I mean, with people still, and I actually wanted to ask you this because this was something that was weighing on my mind a little bit. There are a lot of people who have Floyd Mayweather as the number one boxer of all time.
Mhm.
I know you have, you got to be unbiased in certain opinions. I mean, current fighters and everything else like that now, but overall, when you see guys who fight as often as, what Julio Cesar Chavez once did, and with Canelo and all of these guys who have 50 plus fights,
Mhm.
50-0 to me just doesn't seem as impressive as the other guys. And I honestly, I liked Floyd better as Pretty Boy than I liked him as Money. So it was. I mean, me personally, I maybe have Floyd, just cracking the top 10 because with all these other records, all of these other fighters, what they've done, so it seems a little bit more impressive to me.
Um, I mean, it's a fair point. I mean, I think a lot of people would say that Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money May, mostly because Pretty Boy Floyd was fighting all of the killers and beating all of them down relatively easy as well. I think Money May probably gets a little bit underrated. I mean, you really couldn't touch him. Honestly, you really couldn't touch him. And I get it. Julio Cesar Chavez has a shit ton of fights. Sugar Ray Robinson, a shit ton of fights. Um, but people gotta also remember that it was I mean, they weren't fighting killers every single time they stepped into the ring. You know what I mean? Like they weren't. And I'm not saying that Floyd always did, but Floyd fought consistently top level guys. Even when you look back at like his record, you could probably point and laugh at a guy like Virgil Ortiz or Robert Guerrero, but at the time, those guys were like top level guys. You know what I mean? So, no, they won't make the Hall of Fame or anything like that, but they were good guys and good, credible opponents. For me, Floyd is not the best ever. He's not, but I guess you could put him somewhere in the top five. But it also wouldn't surprise me. Like me personally, I wouldn't put him as the greatest ever. However, it's going to sound a little dumb, but if every fighter ever came back and everybody was in their prime, I'd have a hard time choosing anybody against Floyd. Like, just a really hard time. Doesn't matter who it was. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Earns, doesn't really matter. I'd have a really hard time picking anybody against him.
I mean, that's not saying that's not directly saying he's the greatest of all time, but that's kind of saying like if we're putting everybody in their prime,
It is
he's
almost
kind of
like
the greatest of all time.
it is kind of like me saying it. That's why I said I knew it was going to sound a little dumb, but it's just hard to see him ever losing because Floyd had just a ridiculous chin. He rarely ever got hurt. He would rarely ever hit with punches. So it was just like if it was going to the decision, it was most likely going to be lopsided. So I just have a hard time seeing him ever really lose, like against like the all-time greats and stuff like that. But with that said, I don't have him above a guy like Roy Jones, Muhammad Ali, guys like that. I don't have him above, but is he like right there? Absolutely. If somebody wants to call him TBE, I'm not gonna argue with you. I just don't think he is, but dude was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't take away like what he's done. It's just from when I look at boxing, I kind of look at I almost do kind of look at quantity of work because when I look at some of these older fighters, they took fights like one after the other, one after the other, after the other, and now nowadays I'm seeing guys ducking fights. I'm seeing guys, oh, this isn't the right time. This isn't like it's kind of for me personally. I just kind of look like you want to prove you're the best. You should fight anybody who knocks on your door at any point in time. But it's become more of like a business aspect. Like what's better for me at this? It's not good for me to fight this guy. It's not. He might actually take away from my record early, and that's off to me.
Yeah, I agree. Trust me. I agree, man. 'Cause boxing is just a it's a very, very weird sport to me. You know, like I truly love it. I truly enjoy covering it live and writing about it, getting the interviews. It's awesome. You know what I mean? But to me, it just it never really makes sense how, I don't know, a guy like Floyd could end up fighting a guy like Conor McGregor. It just doesn't really make sense to me. Like, yeah, it's money and stuff like that and whatever, but I've always felt that boxing should always follow the UFC model. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the champ, then you're gonna fight the number one contender. You beat him, you're gonna fight the number two, the number three, the number four, the number five. They're just gonna go down. Like, at no point should you ever, as a champion, fight a guy who's ranked like number 5,000 or something like that. You know, like it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know how a few years ago Danny Garcia ended up fighting a Rod Salka. Like that fight should have never happened. Like it just doesn't really. I don't get that. So yeah, stuff like that kind of
These
annoys me.
warm up sparring fights that they set up, and I kind of feel sorry for boxing fans because pay all this good money and stuff to go watch and support, and they love the sport and everything else like that, and they keep getting you know fed 2 plates of dog shit, and here let's water it down with some piss too. Like it's just it to me. I look at it like, again, I'm one of those guys just like you. I love the boxing game. I love the sport, everything about it, because it's literally just mano a mano, you and I, in the middle of this ring. Whoever the best man is the one who's walking out of here with the W. And to see, and from one point in time where boxing, everyone's fighting each other, just no matter what, whoever comes down, to now it's I would hope sometime soon they would take that UFC model of go, number one contender and go down and
Well,
everything else like that. But it's just, will it
well,
ever happen?
well, boxing has always been like that, though. It's never been, go back as far as you want. It's never been like, oh, okay, the champ, he's always gonna fight the number one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 contender. Like, okay, maybe he'll fight the number five, maybe he'll fight the number one, maybe he'll fight the number 15. So boxing has always been like that. You know what I mean? And it's never gonna change. And it's not me, and it's not meant to be like, a guy like Rod Salka should never get like a title shot or anything like that. But it's just like, even in like the sanctioning bodies, it's like the WBC can have a guy like Jaron Ennis ranked number 13 and a guy like Stanionis ranked like number 2. And then the WBA would have it like flipped and whatever. So it's like, oh, why are these ranked so highly over here, but he's not ranked so highly over here? You know what I mean? So it's always just a little bit weird, honestly. But that's the sport, man. It'd be like that sometimes.
So the fights that are gonna be coming up, I got the boxing schedule right up here with everything. Also, Fury, uh,
Nah, come on.
basically he gave Joshua a deadline, and that's it. So that's never gonna happen.
It's
Fury
gonna
Joshua.
it's gonna happen, but everybody knew that wasn't no real deadline, man. Like, come on, man. Like, everybody knew that, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't think that fight was gonna happen. I think a lot of people were just hopeful because Tyson said that, and then Eddie Hearn came out and said, "Yo, he's gonna sign it." Anthony Joshua came out and said he's gonna sign it. So it's like, yeah, but when you start negotiating stuff in the public eye, it's like, okay, you're kind of just trying to shame somebody into being like, oh, see, he didn't take the fight. Offer it to him. You all saw it. You all heard it. You're trying to publicly embarrass the guy. You know what I mean? Which I think isn't right to Anthony Joshua, who's a great friggin' fighter and gets a whole bunch of shit now for no reason. He fights all of the top guys. And I'm 100% sure that if I'm 100% sure that Anthony Joshua wanted that fight right now, even coming off 2 losses. That's just how Anthony Joshua is.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be that one. I feel like is going to be interesting to see, and I've seen Joshua take fights, and when he takes things personal, he takes things to a whole nother level. And Fury does have a good way of getting under opponent's skin with the trash talk, with the, everything else like that. And him being as big and dominant as he is, it's kind of, how do you really tell this guy no when he backs it up?
Yeah,
So
for
it's
sure, for sure. And I mean, I was still gonna take Fury in that fight, anyways. But you know, I mean, I tell you this, Joshua has a way better chance of beating Tyson Fury than he did at beating um, Usyk. Because Tyson Fury is just gonna, I mean, at least the new Tyson Fury, he seems to just be like a really aggressive guy. He's not as herky jerky, but he's a pretty aggressive guy and comes forward and throws punches. And call Joshua what you want, but he's still big as hell, strong as shit, and punches hard as anybody. So okay, I'm telling you, man, he got a real chance in that fight.
I can see it happening. So I got two picks for you.
Mhm.
All right. Haney Kambosos Jr. for the undisputed lightweight titles coming October 15th. You got
Mhm.
Haney or you got Kambosos?
Haney, Haney,
Haney.
Haney.
Okay.
I think
And
Campos is
then
gonna make it really interesting though, but Haney should win.
and then in January 28th, you got Charlo and
Oh, Tim Tszyu.
yes,
Oh,
for the undisputed junior middleweight titles.
yo, it's actually a close fight, man. it's actually a really close fight, man. People are looking at Tim Tszyu because when he came to the States and then he fought Terrell Goucher, he got dropped and whatever. He's a little young, a little green, but yo, he could really fight and he puts on a lot of pressure, man, and throws a lot of shots. So I actually think that's a pretty close fight. But I'm taking Charlo. I think Charlo. I got Charlo like in my top 3 pound for pound. I think
Oh,
he's like such an amazing fighter, man. Like if he's amazing,
you
it's
you
ridiculous.
got you definitely got him higher than most people do on their pound for pound list.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't respect him, and I don't know why. He can either bang it out with you in the middle of the ring, or he could box circles around you. Either way, he's amazing, man. Like really, really amazing. So I respect the hell out of Jamal Charlo, like a lot.
And we absolutely respect the hell out of you, Hans. Anytime, once again, man, anytime you want to come on the show, we talk boxing, talk anything in the fight game, the door is open. Love hearing more from you, my friend. Appreciate you for coming on.
God, you appreciate it, man. You already know. Whenever you need me, I'll come by, man. Appreciate you.
I'll hold you to it, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen from BoxingInsider.com, Hans Themistode.
and
Appreciate you
and
again,
and
Hans.
and I'm actually with Boxing Scene now, not Boxing Insider. So just giving you a heads up.
Boxing Scene. Boxing Scene. Sorry. There you go. BoxingScene.com. There you go.
God, appreciate you, brother. Take it easy.
Appreciate you, Hans. Oh man, talking to Hans. It's always good to talk to Hans because again, let me get that right. BoxingScene.com. Let's get that okay. But it's always good to talk to him because again, he knows so much. He's talked with virtually every fighter, every person that you can think of in the boxing world. Again, getting that exclusive interview with Terrence Crawford, and who, in a lot of people's opinion, is pound for pound the top fighter in all of boxing. Being able to get that exclusive with him, I'm sure that was a pretty big deal. Making Hans look like a dude from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, looking like the cop, sucking back in the tear. He was happy, but he wanted to stay strong at the same time. But again, appreciate Hans for coming on. Love talking to him, and can't wait to talk to him again in the near future. So now we get to essentially the nitty gritty of the show. What we normally talk about all the time, and the sport that we have a passion for since a very, very young age. The NFL. NFL Sunday obviously has come and gone. Monday Night Football has come and gone. And looking at this past week's games, one thing that popped out to me that was very impressive were the Miami Dolphins. They took it to the Bills. They were there with them every step of the way. But something happened that now, so the NFL is now investigating the Miami Dolphins for their handling of quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
They did it. Huh?
They. What do you mean? What do you mean they did it?
Whatever it is, they did it.
You saw him, right? You like he got up, all.
I mean, I heard about the play and all that, but I mean,
What's happening, Diggs? What's up? What's up, my G? What's happening? But he got rocked. Okay. Now there was a report that came out that they said like, oh, it was a back problem. Like that's the reason why it was like wobbly and stuff like that because of something with his back.
Mhm.
Now you and I have seen people get knocked out in the game of football. Okay. We know what they look like when they get up, and we know what they look like when they're there, but nobody's home. Okay. That is exactly what Tua Tagovailoa looked like. He was there, but nobody was home. He was walking to the side, walking to the huddle. Like, all right, guys. No, bro, you're not even standing up. His lineman had to catch him. Now they took him into concussion protocol, and he somehow passed it. Now, I understand teams wants to win and all that other kind of shit. Where I have a problem with some teams, you are supposed to protect the player against himself at times. And I'm not exactly sure if in this situation the Dolphins really gave a shit about, really looking like, look, he may have look, from the time you get knocked out to the time you get to concussion protocol, depending on the severity, you can kind of get your wits about you and be able to answer questions and stuff like that the right way and all that other kind of stuff. Now, if it comes out they did the right thing and everything else, like they did all the protocols, he came out fine, there's everything else like that. Okay, they did what they were supposed to do, and that's what happened. But when I see somebody on the field get knocked out, that tells me, at minimum, that's a minor concussion. Immediately, like right off the bat. It's not even a question. It's not even a question of whether or not they are or they aren't. They just got knocked out. Their lights just got like absolutely put out. There's at least a minor concussion going on. If somebody gets knocked out and you see them wobbling like that, I don't give a shit if they pass the protocol, bro. Sit them down. Sit them down, and we'll see again next week. Because something worse. I mean, thank God, nothing happened to him. He came back, played very well, and they ended up, beating the Bills. 21-19. But that look, I'm not taking anything away from Tua. That shows toughness. That shows everything like that. Okay, as a football player, I get it, wanting to push through an injury, to continue to play. That I get it. But as a coach and as an organization, as somebody outside of that, and then you see all the things that happen and stuff like that with CTE and all that kind of shit now, why would you risk your quote unquote franchise quarterback, by putting him in after getting knocked out? Like, Kay, if I know you don't really like the Dolphins, you respect them, but you don't like them.
Mm.
If you're the Dolphins, do you put Tua back in at all? Or once you see him wobbling like that, he's done, take his helmet from him?
So I'm gonna answer your question first. I just looked at the play right now while you were talking because I really didn't see it. He would have been it would have been over for him for that day. He wouldn't have played the rest of that game, especially when he bucked like that. He looked like Bambi when she was just born. Like, what the fuck? Like, he would have went to the sideline. Like, we would have went to the locker room because he was at home. So we would have went to the locker room. He'd have been in street clothes in the next 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't even, you wouldn't even touch this grass until after we done did the necessary steps. But I mean, I will say this. A pinched nerve in your back will make you do that shit too. So now that's one thing I will say. If your back, you got a nerve in your back, because I just experienced back pain like a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? I missed work and all that shit. Remember I was telling y'all, like, that back shit ain't no joke because this connects everything. You get what I'm saying? Your back is connected to everything. You get what I'm saying? So if your shit like that, then yeah. I mean, he could have taken that shit. He got whiplash, and it's fine to somebody heat to you on the whiplash. Like, it's not just his head. His whole everything got whiplash back. And he already have back problems before. So that's
not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, so I don't know. I feel like he's had injuries before. And
no, he's had an injury before, but it wasn't a back injury. At least not that I can.
I don't remember his previous injuries. You know what I'm saying? But I also know things are connected. If you got weak glutes, you gonna fuck up something else. You get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like how things are connected on some Jameis Winston shit. Really, your elbows are your knees. Can you give me a maybe?
Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't win with him.
Fuck that.
No.
He's my Baker Mayfield, bro. He's my Baker Mayfield.
Say his name.
That would probably have to be you because I feel like I've hit my quota.
You rest in shit.
I hit my quota for that guy.
I mean, you do find a way damn near every show to be able to get a dig at Jameis Winston.
Make you rest in shit.
He fucking destroyed our bro. We had I don't want to experience it anymore. We've had a Super Bowl since those days, so I don't care.
I was going to say, it's like, we know.
I had a Super Bowl since those days. I'm no longer of that variety anymore.
I mean, when you say that, a pinched nerve in your back can make you buckle like that. Like that?
Yeah.
Or in a different type of buckle?
No, because you gotta remember, he's still trying to walk. Like, his brain is still telling him to walk. You get what I'm saying? He's still trying to walk, but the fact that he can't, that's why I said in that back is no joke, bro. Like, yes, I agree that was a concussion, but I'm just being devil's advocate, like, at this point. And
well, I mean, it brings up a good question, and it brings up, a point to people that if it was like a pinched nerve or something like that that actually ended up happening, And then the Miami Dolphins did the right thing. They did the protocol. He was fine. It turned out oh shit, it was actually just a pinched nerve in his back. How you feeling? Moving around. I feel good. All right, your head's good. Your back's good. Go on in. That could very well be the case. I'm just saying, like, I've never personally experienced a pinched nerve in my back to where I buckled like that.
Mhm.
Like, I've never had that experience. But the only experience I can relate what I saw
Mhm.
is to somebody getting knocked out, somebody
Right.
getting up, trying to fix their helmet, and just all the limbs, especially his arms were kind of going dead on him a little bit. Then he buckles and everything. That to me looked like somebody who got knocked out.
Right.
So that's why. I mean, again, I've never had a pinched nerve in my back, so that could
Yeah.
very well be the case.
So
He
that's
had a pinched nerve and boom, down.
But everything's different. Like I've been knocked out in a game. I got knocked out against NPC and finished the rest of the game. People didn't even notice. I blacked out, didn't remember the rest of that game. I knew I got knocked out because the next day I was like, what the fuck happened the rest of that game? I don't remember going out. I don't remember drinking. I don't remember nothing else after the second quarter. I made contact with somebody. No, it was the second quarter, it was the third quarter. I made contact with somebody, and I don't remember shit after that, the rest of that night. That's what I'm saying. It's like everybody said I did everything normal. I went out, did all this stuff. I didn't drive or nothing because I was going with Jesse, but I don't remember none of that.
Hey, do you know this person? They commented, but they said, "Hey, what's up, G?" And it's Diggs, by the way, 7 on Twitch. PBB Studios on Twitch.
Hey, what up, Diggs? I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are a big fan of the Diggs or you are the Diggs,
That can't
Stephon,
be. That
Stephon
can't be
is
Stephon.
nice. He's no. Well, his name is Trayvon that plays on the Cowboys.
Or that can't be Trayvon. Sorry, there's no way.
No, I'm saying Stephon is nice. Trayvon is athletic, and that's about as much as I can give you as a compliment.
Bro,
That kick
if that was at,
on Sunday was by far the luckiest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
I'm
Yo,
just
I'm
saying,
not going.
for those of you who aren't seeing, I have it up right now. Again, if you watching on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, or on Facebook, if you make a comment, we'll still be able to see it, and we'll see where it came from. This one, for those of you who are watching live and watching on the video and stuff afterwards, comment from Diggs BTW, by the way, 7, just saying, "Hey, what's up, G?" Now, me seeing, I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Appreciate you for comment, appreciate you for watching. We see that. Now, Diggs, and then you look at the picture. There's a player in the Dallas Cowboys uniform with a 7 on his helmet.
Mhm.
Now, could be just a burner account. Could be one of those just no idea. Now, if it's actually Trayvon Diggs, hey, what we've said is what we said. Okay?
It's only one Cowboy fan on
I
here.
ain't fucking taking it back. I ain't fucking taking it back.
It's only one Cowboy fan on here. I'm just be honest with you, and I still
No,
think high hands. That's high hands from the Little Giants. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That's high hands from the Little Giants. Yeah, boy, some shit.
There's one Cowboy fan.
Boy, that
There's
was
one
the
Cowboy fan. He denounced them and rooted for the Jets. Okay,
nah.
so that should tell you everything you really need to know.
Man, the flip flopping Mastics did. Get the fuck out of here, yo.
Oh, you seen that too? You seen that too?
I saw that shit. That's why those memes. Like, get the fuck out of here. All it takes is a backup quarterback. He back on John. He back on John. A backup quarterback.
Okay, so DJ Matt Stixler, we have him obviously on the message thread. He's still very much part of the show and stuff like that. He's just got his things and and other stuff that he's got to do. You guys already know that. Now, obviously, you guys know he has denounced the Dallas Cowboys. He said I'm not rooting for the team. I'm rooting for the Jets. And everybody said, and then yesterday, Cowboys win on Monday Night Football against the Giants because either one of those teams really.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Now, Matchsticks, I forgot what the exact text was, but essentially telling me and Kay, we're the only ones who went. There's a 0-2, huh? Meaning because the Niners also lost and the Tampa Bay Bucks also lost. But the Jets also lost. So I messaged back. I'm like, you mean 0-3? When the fuck did you get back to the Cowboys? Hold on. When did you become a Cowboys fan again?
Mm-hmm.
And his response, I'm a fan of Cooper Rush. This motherfucker. That's what Case said. And all it took was a backup quarterback for you to come back. I should tell you how much he doesn't like Dak. I should tell you that.
I told him Lil Bachata wasn't it. Everybody talking about, oh no, Dak's the guy. I'm like, Lil Bachata ain't it, man. That's just being honest. And then at the exact same time, the fucking Packers suck.
They beat you, so what does that say?
No, they suck. They beat us with no wide receivers.
You had no. They had no wide receivers. You had no wide receivers.
No, they had wide receivers. They had the same guys they started the year with. They started the year with that crew. You can't sit here and try to make it seem like they
Lazard
and Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb. They got Dobbs and they got two young guys that's starting over Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb, and Alan Lazard is the number one.
Randall Cobb is just as old as Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
Sammy Watkins. It's just no. It's not going to work. Boyd, I believe it is the wide receiver.
Dobbs,
not Boyd. Yeah, Dobbs.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Lazard.
And Lazard is a number one.
Lazard is a number 3.
No, you're tripping.
Lazard on any other team is
better than Scanlon. I think he was better than Scanlon. People think Scanlon was better because he was faster. I think Alan Lazard was better than Scanlon. That's what I'm saying.
I don't disagree with you. I just and I think the same thing is Scantling. They're number 3s. On any other team, they're number 3s.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Valdez Scantling is with the
Chiefs.
Chiefs right now, right? He's a number 3 on the Chiefs.
He's number 2. No, he is number 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Lazard, if he's on any other team, literally any other team, he's a number 3 wide receiver.
I don't believe that. He'll come to the Niners right now and be a number 2, and only because Debo is the featured fucking player.
He would still be the number 3 behind Kittle.
Kittle, bro, Kittle's a fucking tight end, dog. What are you talking about?
I understand that.
I'm not talking about targets. I'm talking about wide receivers.
Okay, he'd still be behind Ayuk.
No, he wouldn't. Bro,
yes, he would.
No, he
would.
Brandon Ayuk did one good move his whole fucking career, and it just came 2 weeks ago. When he did that one move, he made that linebacker fall. That was the only thing he did his whole fucking career. And you want me to understand this motherfucker got no. Hell no. Al Lazard, at least some shit.
You have too much hate in your heart for the 49ers for you to actually see what
I
I
don't
see.
like Aaron Rodgers just as much. And I'm happy that
We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about if Alan Lazard is better than Brandon Ayuk. That would be a number.
Aaron Rodgers' weapon. And I'm giving him credit. So that in turn says Aaron actually got a weapon.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, Allen Lazard better than Ayuk. I don't know what you talking about.
I don't think so.
Tell me one thing Brandon Ayuk did this whole time. He been on your team and you know he ain't did shit. So
I know he hasn't done shit yet.
So I've seen Allen Lazard actually play well.
Shit yet.
I've seen Allen Lazard play well. He's had 100-yard games. I can't say the same for Ayuk.
Hey, we don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, you do.
No, no.
Yeah, you do. You just don't own him. I'm like, that man took you the first time, took you to the Super Bowl.
Hold on. Let me get some.
All right,
Let me get some water for this situation because as a 49er fan. Okay.
I forgot about you.
The fan base on social media right now is 100% beyond fucking frustrated. Okay.
Welcome to my world.
Now, all the people who were praising Jimmy G were saying Trey Lance would have won that game yesterday. How the fuck do you know? He couldn't beat the Bears.
He definitely couldn't beat the Bears. And his defense was
Okay.
like a
How the fuck do you know Trey Lance would have done any better? And then we're seeing people who are literally saying the same things that I've been saying all fucking year. For all of last year and everything. Oh, Jimmy's not that guy you can win because of. He's the guy you can win with. Hello. Hell fucking low. I've been talking about this forever. Jimmy G is not that guy. So when Trey Lance got hurt and Jimmy came in, I'm like, okay, guy who knows the offense. And then this is the same son of a bitch who earlier said, oh, it's like riding a bike. You know, it's all good. Everything's running well. You know, right after the last week's win, where he came in from Trey Lance and, you know, did pretty well. Oh, it's like riding the bike. The guys are good. You know, blah, 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 blah. You lose this week, you got fucking excuses pouring out of every orifice in your goddamn body. You're just a little rusty. You know, need to get things more. Be able to spend time to study the playbook and everything like that. What? Miss me with that shit, Jimmy. Miss me with that shit. And every one of you fucking people who are out there who are defending Jimmy, fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. Okay? All of you guys who were saying Trey Lance would have won that game, fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. Okay? You Jimmy G and Trey Lance.
They are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were.
Trey Lance is not ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And Jimmy G is not that guy. Get over it. It is what it is. We need to start probably looking for another head coach because now we're starting to see Kyle Shanahan's ego is too big for his own fucking body.
Ego. First off, hold on. I got a question. I got several questions, actually.
This man must really think he's God's gift to NFL coaching and that he knows more than anybody else. He must think he really does.
Oh, I'm not muted. Hey, I got a question.
Go ahead.
All right. So, actually, I have several questions.
Go ahead.
My first question.
I will answer them honestly.
I know you will because it's your team and you're mad right now.
Yep.
Firstly, do you think you have the team to win a Super Bowl? Like right now, the way y'all constructed. Do you seriously think you have a team to actually contend and win the Super Bowl right now? See, that's the problem.
So if I'm looking at one side of the ball, do we have the defense to be able to do it? Yes. But when you go to the offensive side of the ball, we don't have a running back that can stay healthy. And we haven't for the last 2.5 years.
been telling this man this shit the whole fucking time. He finally admitted it. Oh God.
Okay. None of them can stay healthy. Okay. Because Kyle Shanahan runs the ball more than anyone, including the Baltimore Ravens.
I agree.
Why
All right,
doesn't
so
he throw more? Why doesn't he throw more, you may ask? We don't have the quarterback to do it. We never did.
No,
Jimmy
here's
G was not that guy. That's why,
the
and he knew it. That's why we ran the ball more often than anybody else.
to keep going down on that path, because if you're gonna have one problem, you can make it seem the other problem gonna be another. I'm pissing myself off now, just simply because I think Kyle Shanahan is Chris Sims of coaching. Like, I seriously think he is so fucking bad, bro. He's in because of nepotism, and he is terrible. People continue to say he's a fucking guru, he's a genius, and I'm like, where? Where in the fuck he's a guru? I ain't seen him develop nobody. He ain't developed not one person on the 49ers. I used to that. But one person has developed.
Hold on a second. You're cutting in and out.
Ooh.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just saying.
Okay. No, I was just it was in and out. I was just
Okay,
wanted to
cool.
make
So
sure
yeah,
you were more clear.
no, I'm just saying Kyle Shanahan does not develop players. Wasn't Fred Warner there before he got there?
Mm-mm.
He got drafted by Kyle.
Yep.
So that was a good pick. But again, I personally don't think he has drafted or got players and developed them. I ain't seen nobody go up. And to be honest with you, the slander you give Jimmy, my thing is when Jimmy came on your team was ass. Y'all basically had the same team. The same offense, essentially. You got a few new running backs and you got what's the name at tackle, but for real, you had pretty much the same skills players. You got Brandon Ayuk in the draft, but you had Debo and you had who else you had? You had a solid receiver that dipped out.
We had Dante Pettis. We had gotten him, but I mean he hasn't really
Y'all
been.
had somebody else. Y'all had a tall, lanky receiver when Jimmy first joined the team, but it don't matter. Y'all pretty much had the same skills receivers, or you know what I'm saying, a few other ones that was actually about something. And then when y'all went to the Super Bowl, y'all had solid receivers then. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is everybody blames Jimmy, but Kyle's the one making those calls. Like Jimmy doesn't have the control. Like Jimmy basically is in the same situation like when he was up there with Bill Belichick. Like if Jimmy was making these decisions and the Patriots were still finding a way to win, yeah, people would be talking shit about Jimmy, but then at the same time, people would be like, well, he has to follow a game plan. He has to follow a game plan. But when on the 49ers, it's like they think he got access to say shit. It's like you got to remember he's in a big family type situation. Like Belichick's he got a family shit going down up there. Same thing with Shanahan's. The Shanahan's is a family thing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I seriously don't think Jimmy got to even make an audible if he really sees some shit. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think so either. But I mean, to be honest,
hands is tied as a
I
quarterback.
can't really trust him. I wouldn't trust him to make the smart decision anyway.
And that's what I disagree with you, because he learned from Tom and he learned from Belichick the same way Tom did.
Did he really?
Yeah, because he came and made y'all better.
Okay, if he really learned from Tom, this is what he should have done when he walked in. Okay, when we first went on that 13-3 run, we ended up making it to the Super Bowl. We lost because Jimmy can't be accurate on a deep ball.
Kyle Shanahan
and Kyle Shanahan went away from the run and everything. We've gone over this.
Choice.
We have gone over this. Jimmy makes that play, we might be having a completely different conversation right now. If
Nah.
we're still, if we run the football the way we were running for the football the entire playoffs, and that we were still continuing to do throughout that game, we would have won that game. It was all coaching and bad clutch plays by everybody involved. Okay. Now, if he would have at that point came out and told Kyle, look, this is what we needed. I saw that, or this is what Jimmy should have done when he went with Kyle right after that. Look, I saw this, but you aren't letting me do the audibles and everything else. Like, no. If we see that all of the great quarterbacks in the NFL have the ability to make those calls on their own because they're trusted and they have that thing with the head coach. Jimmy doesn't have that with Kyle. It's either Kyle's way or the highway.
Yeah, because
and if Jimmy really needs to step up and be like, hey, this is what we need to do.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
You can't do that. Again, like I said, we need if that is the case.
Jimmy probably did that shit 2020 when they lost. Think about it. When did y'all draft Trey Lance? Jimmy probably said all of this shit you're saying right fucking now after y'all lost the Super Bowl and they went and got Trey Lance and actively tried to get Jimmy the fuck out of there. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, Kyle Shanahan got those vibes of a fucking spoiled little kid, bro. And
so then, Kay, if that is the case, if that is truly the case, the 49ers need to look for a new head coach.
Well, dog,
because just honestly, straight up,
cannot play with him, cannot win with him, cannot coach with him, can't do it.
Can't do it, coach.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I seriously think Jimmy is still haven't been able to fucking show what he really can do. If Kyle Shanahan is forcing this man to do certain things with the ball, and he's like, you gotta throw it here, you gotta throw it here. These are only, you know what I'm saying? They telling him this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You don't know what they saying to him. And I seriously don't think Jimmy G is the person that y'all trying to make him be based off of how he's been playing. You know what I'm saying? He'll play well, and then next thing you know, some bullshit happened. Now everybody on Jimmy, and it's like, bro, realistically, like the Super Bowl. Jimmy played well the whole goddamn year, and you get to the Super Bowl, Kyle put him in a position to throw that dumbass pass when y'all was already up 10. Like, come on, bro. Like, I that's what I'm saying. It's like, I agree that was a bad pass. Like, it wasn't a good place ball. I agree with that 1,000%, what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the fact of actually putting a person in that position, Jimmy probably didn't even want to throw that fucking pass. You get what I'm saying? That's probably why he overthrew the shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, Jimmy probably didn't want to throw that motherfucker. And he was like, just run the ball. Get a shit to Raheem. Raheem just won the game for us last week. Like, that.
By himself, literally.
Bro, just think about it from that perspective. Just a little bit. I understand. Turn your hate off of Jimmy for 1 second and make it seem like he's a competent quarterback for 1 second, right? If Jimmy's going to a dickhead coach and he's telling him, hey, bro, he's saying all of the things you're saying right now, and this coach is stuck in his ways, what do you think Shanahan's going to do next? Every fucking thing they just been doing. They're going to make heaven and earth move for a motherfucker that they think is going to be good because the head coach really ain't like that. He getting vibes of fucking goddamn RG3 from fucking Trey Lance. He trying to make up for him fucking up RG3 and literally did the same thing twice. Lost the Super Bowl twice, did that shit to a fucking running quarterback twice, and you telling me he don't look like fucking a snobbish fucking spoiled kid stuck in his ways? Man, shit. That motherfucker's not a genius. He's fucking terrible. And I'm not going to let the media keep telling me that he's good. Just like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can throw the ball amazingly. He can throw the ball amazingly. But as far as actually fucking winning some shit, no, bro. And that's a part of the fucking quarterback. That's a third of the fucking goddamn team. No, bro. When it comes to the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers turns into motherfucking Matt Flynn. No, bro. I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. Aaron Rodgers can throw across his body. He can throw that bitch backwards like Pat with Mahomes. He can throw that bitch like a long snapper. I don't give a fuck how he throw that bitch. You get what I'm saying? If you're not winning the fucking game, you're not winning the fucking game. Especially when your ass is sitting here in a position like us. I'm a Tampa Bay fan. Everyone knows that. I think Devin White would have beat him there. But at the same time, if you going to sit here after the shit talking about, man, I would have beat him. Motherfucker, try it. Try it. You see what I'm saying? That's all you had to do. Just try. You could have just ran that bitch. You could have. You had the fucking goddamn access to be like, wave the motherfucking kick team off the field. They've had fucking instances where it's like they said Aaron Rodgers will stand on the field like, I ain't getting off this bitch. We going for it. You ain't do none of that shit. You let him kick that ball. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Some people got the seniority to say something and some people don't. Just to make that comparison right now to close my point for both quarterbacks. Jimmy doesn't have that fucking goddamn seniority status to make calls like that on fucking any team, bro. So you can't expect him to make calls a regular or a vet quarterback can make. When you can look at the coach that you have and see him fucking be dumb as fuck in every situation he's been in. There's no way I can fucking slander Jimmy, but if the head coach is fucking dumb. The same way like I said about Baker. Granted, Baker ain't been playing well after that shit. Right? He hasn't played well after that shit, but at the same time, like I said, I ain't gonna say that because the very next year he went 11 and fucking what? 11 and whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say now, like this year, he's been playing average to below average, whatever the fuck. I don't know. I ain't been watching the Panthers, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. They ain't been winning games, so I know that. They ain't winning games. So to fucking put my point.
No, they won this week, but they played the Aints.
My point exactly. They ain't winning no games. That's a motherfucking YMCA team. Anyway, like I was saying, fucking they got Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, and the rest of them is from the YMCA pickup lot. Anyway, yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's why I can't slander Jimmy because I can't give a real opinion because I understand Kyle Shanahan's a dumbass. That's the only reason why I be telling you to chill on Jimmy because it's like that's my sentiment. I can't give a real opinion on Jimmy G because Kyle Shanahan's a fucking dummy. He's hurt all y'all running backs, and if Jimmy G was a running quarterback, he would have hurt his ass too. He hurt Jimmy, and he's not a running quarterback. This motherfucker's hurt Jimmy. He's hurt Kyle. Not Kyle, but Kittle. He's hurt Kittle.
And Trey, yeah.
He just hurt Trey. He fucking hurt a whole bunch of motherfuckers. He damn near got Debo hurt with overuse last year. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit I'm saying to you. It's like you got your anger directed towards the wrong person. And that's the only reason why I'm saying that is because it's like you might not be wrong about Jimmy. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong because you might not be wrong. But I know for certain with an incompetent coach, how can you ever fucking prevail?
Fair enough. Fair enough. On that note, we'll get into the last topic of the day. We wanted to bring something a little bit newer to the show. We had been talking about doing some sort of like top 5, top 10 list for a long time now. But now finally pulling the trigger on it. We have a concept. We have everything that we want to do with it. The JAFFO top 5 list is now a thing, and each week on Tuesdays we have our top 5. Call it top 5 Tuesdays if you want to. That's fine. Put that one. JAFFO top 5 Tuesdays, where we pick our top 5, whatever it is category, whether it's fighters, whether it's NFL teams, NFL players, NBA, you name it, favorite fucking cereal, I don't care. Top 5 lists is going to be on Tuesdays every single week at the end of the show to close it out. This week, the very first one, in light of being at San Jose State, which I'm still going to get into, getting their alternate uniforms, the All Blacks for the blackout game for San Jose State on Saturday. The jerseys were nice. I loved the helmets. The play, San Jose State played, great. That kind of sparked us to do our top 5 alternate uniforms in the NFL, considering, college has an abundance, and the NFL does not necessarily have that many teams with alternate style uniforms, other than like the color rush uniforms and stuff. But we picked our top 5 alternate uniforms. And Kay, I want to start off with you before we go to my list. Or should we go 5-1 each, or should we go you 5, me 5, you 5, you 4, me 4 type stuff?
I feel like you're making it too complicated. I really don't care.
All right. Well, just go through your list then.
All right. So I wasn't sure if we was doing 5 or 10, so I just wrote 5 down.
That's cool. That's what I did.
So they're in no particular order. I'm just going based off of memory. So this first one is the combo, because obviously it's my team, so I don't want to just have 2 spots for my team. No, seriously. So the Bucks, they had 2 different jerseys. Obviously the Sherbert, everyone knows I'm gonna say that, but they also had a black jersey. The Bucks had a black jersey in 2000 to 2002. It was like around that time we won a Super Bowl. I think we wore it to we might have worn it to about 2005, if I'm not mistaken. But we didn't have it that long. You know what I'm saying? Like it was real short. We had a black jersey. That motherfucker was fire. It was similar to the Niners jersey, which the Niners are on the list as well for that black jersey. You know what I'm saying? So I might as well just go them next. So the Niners for the black jersey they had during the Pat Willie days. I got the Chargers with that motherfucking that Navy, the Navy with the motherfucking goddamn the fucking lightning bolt and the yellow trim.
Yeah,
that shit is crazy with the accent. It's fire. Then I also had because I had to skim some people off. I got. Obviously, the Bengals fucking got them bringing out the motherfucking white joints.
bro. Okay.
Yo, shit is crazy. Oh man. Oh God, them shits are so cold. Yo, I saw them shits and I was like, yo, them shits is so cold. All right. And last but not least, the Atlanta Falcons red jersey during the 2 legit quit days. That red jersey.
Okay. The all reds with the OG logo, the Black Falcon logo on there.
Bro, the big bird.
Yep.
Them shits was crazy. Yep. Them was nasty.
No, I can get with that. So my list, I thought you were gonna go the route that I did, but I picked the all black OG ones with the big bird and everything on it. Those I was like, okay.
But those ones are alternates. That was a regular jersey.
No, it's an alternate now. Compared to
now.
Like that's something that's something that they but the all black with the OG logo, that was good. The 49ers all black ones, that was on my list. And the only thing that I had a problem with that jersey, to be honest with you, or that thing, I wish they would have did the helmets black. I wish if they would have blacked out the helmet and put the 49er logo either just red with like the gold trim or something like that, just red, or kind of do like San Jose State did. They just had the logo that was silver, and then the city, just the logos or whatever would have been all black helmet with just the red and white stripes still down the middle, and you had the black logos.
Now you're making me hate your jersey. Now hold on, can I replace your jersey now? Because you talked me out of it, dude. You talked me out of it. That's your fault.
Think about it though. Like if they had the black helmets, it would make it better, would it not?
No, you're 100% correct. I agree with you. That's why I'm taking this shit off. I'm taking the Niners off and I'm putting the Baltimore Ravens purple jersey with the gold numbers.
Those are cool. I like those ones too. Yep, those are nice.
That was my honorable.
I had the Philadelphia. I like the Eagles that Randall Cunningham.
Oh yeah,
I like those.
Green, yeah.
I like those. when they go with the all green and everything. I like those. I like uh the Niners, the white throwback, the all whites with the 94 throwback jersey.
Okay, Super Bowl year.
I like that one.
Last
And
time,
then, like you said, bro, when they dropped it and I saw what these uniforms looked like, the Bengals white tiger uniforms. Oh my God, those are fucking clean.
hey, look,
With the white helmet with the black stripes on it, and just oh.
So here's the thing.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I've been seeing these jerseys because it's been rumored, and at the exact same time, it's a team out in Sac right now with the same jerseys and everything. That's their base jerseys, not their alternate. It's their base jerseys. They're called the Tigers. They're River City Tigers, and that's where Marcus plays. Marcus Brown, the kid I tell you about all the time. Well, he ain't a kid. Yeah. So yeah, that's the team. That's the team. That's their base jerseys, just like those, to the T. Just so I've been saw them, but I love that the fact they're in the NFL now, and I agree with you. The motherfuckers are so cold.
As soon as I was like, they're gonna debut them this week, I was like, those are gonna be so fucking nice. I was like, oh man, it's the white tiger,
This shit is hard. When it was rumored like a few years ago, I was like, the motherfuckers need those now.
Yeah. I said the same thing when they were rumoring them and everything. Oh yeah, the some ideas for alternate uniforms for the Bengals. I was like, yeah, that white tiger look would look fucking clean on them.
I'm going to get a
finally
Chase jersey right after I get a few Bucks jerseys. I
want to see if I can get like the mini helmet or something, like the white tiger. The helmet really to me.
Fanatics. They're in there right now. Fanatics right now.
Oh, on it. I'm on it. I'm getting it because I'm not a Bengals fan or anything else like that, but I can respect the fucking clean looking jersey when I see one. All right.
Bro, I'm gonna get a helmet for all 32 teams. Granted, some of those helmets might have shit on them, but I'm gonna have a helmet for all 32 teams. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Some might have a sticker just like this.
Or a fucking big doll. You know, the old school doll of the kid pissing on shit. I'm gonna get a life-size version with the life-size stream of piss.
Oh my god.
Get that some bitch 3D printed.
That sounds like a good idea though. Getting all at least like the mini helmets or whatever, all 32 teams lined up. Right in there.
Yeah.
And then like maybe a bunch of mini helmets or even regular size helmets of like college teams that we'll cover when that starts to come down the road. Like we got San Jose State's right now, but then like I'm really trying to get Sac State and then see branching out even farther. Sac State, you hear me? Hey, what's up? We want to cover some games.
I highly doubt he's going to do it, but I can talk to my boy. He's an alum there. This motherfucker's story is so dope. He was the only walk-on to survive and earn a scholarship at Sac State.
Damn.
Bro, he hit. You remember what was the running back name? Jaquez Rogers.
Yep.
You remember Jaquez Rogers? You remember his brother, the receiver? So my boy Joseph, this motherfucker, goddamn, it was Sac State versus Oregon State. I forgot what year it is. You can look that shit up. It was like 2012, 13.
Yeah, it might have been 13. Yeah, 13, you're right. 13, 14, around that time.
If you remember that game at all, a safety came down and smacked somebody. I'm talking about some vicious. I'm talking about enough to make you get out of your chair. That was what my boy Joseph, the guy I was training with to try to go pro.
Okay.
So if you go back and look at that game and you see that hit, you're going to be like, oh, every time I see it, I do the same thing, bro. He cracked that boy. Oh, my gosh. And they wanted to make
I need to go get film.
NFL.
I need to see film. Well, I'm going to go see film. But, yeah, like I said, like I'm really liking what's going on. Sac State even beat Colorado State this week.
Hell yeah.
handedly too. Like it wasn't even close. It was kind of like San Jose State, Western Michigan. Which
Honestly, bro,
let
I
me.
think all these schools when we were in school that was like terrible. I think now all of the kids that are not able to go to these big schools are settling to go to these smaller schools because they just smart and like just understanding like I can go to the smaller school, make a name for this, be a legend at this school versus just going to that a Power 5 school but not Alabama and just be a regular name on the board. You know what I'm saying?
More kids are starting to realize, especially with a lot of the stars that are in the NFL right now.
Right.
There's a lot of them that didn't go to big time schools.
Right.
Devontae Adams, considered one of the better, better receivers in the entire league. Fresno State.
Well, you got to play the may he rest in shit because that sounds like state rival. You kind of got to. You kind of got to.
Where is it? Where is it? Let me find it. Yep.
May he rest in shit.
That's for you guys. And then all these other Cooper Kupp. He went to Eastern Washington?
Yeah. And then my guy, the fastest release in the NFL at the time, Tony Romo. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Eastern Illinois. It just you got guys that are, and you got Hall of Famers and stuff like that too. Jerry Rice, Mississippi Valley State. Look up Mississippi Valley State. Most of you guys would never know who they are.
Marshall Faulk.
Arguably, Marshall Faulk, San Diego State. Exactly, Coach Swaney. Like all these guys, I think Michael Strahan went to.
He went to Texas Southern.
Yeah,
he went to Texas Southern. Yeah, which is the
so,
HBCU.
Yeah. So I'm saying, you got all the kids are finally starting to realize, and I would like to think that we've helped spread that message because, you don't have to go to a Power 5 school to get recognized to make the NFL and make something out of yourself in the NFL.
That's a fact.
It's been proven time and time and time and time again. No star kids coming out doing big things in the NFL. You don't have to have 5 stars to be a star. Honestly. So more of these kids are starting to realize that, and I'm glad they're starting to realize that because again, you're getting all this, really valuable talent going to these other schools and uplifting the schools. Bringing them out of what was once considered a laughable punching bag of a program to, okay, these guys are starting to be contenders in their conference now. Like, okay, now we're starting to get good recruits. We're starting to get a lot of transfers. We're starting to get, all of this stuff. So I'm great.
Shout out.
Yeah. And San Jose State's a great point in that because they got a lot of guys who came from the transfer portal who realized, what was going on at San Jose State. They won the Mountain West Conference Championship back in 2020. Last year wasn't the greatest, but, they were still better than what they used to be way back when.
And I will say this though, everybody we've interviewed that has been affiliated with San Jose State has gave Coach Brennan the best reviews, and I feel like that's probably most of the reason why San Jose State has flipped because he's such of a good coach and he has such a great coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? That's
absolutely.
what people like drawing the players. Sometimes that's what it is, bro.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've had the chance to talk with Coach Brennan. We've seen his coaching style, in practice and in the games. We know how good of a coach. And again, when you talk about his coaches, Coach Zoe, Coach Oglesby, like everybody on that staff is just they're there for the kids and they're there to make the program better and they're there to make the kids better athletes and better people off the field. They give a shit about these kids. So and a lot of kids are starting to realize that now. Yeah, I can go to Alabama, but if I'm not one of the better players on that team, is Coach Saban really going to give a shit about me? Like it is like, are they really going to care, or am I going to get lost in the shuffle? we were going to these other schools, Mountain West, Big Sky, FCS schools, and all all these other different types, and you're realizing that all these coaches, like, they care. So Coach Brennan, credit to him and his entire coaching staff, they give a shit about their players. And this isn't me like trying to make a recruiting pitch or anything else like that. For them, it's just something that we have visually seen, with this team and with this coaching staff, the few years that we've been really paying attention and really kind of covering the team. And again, shout out to Sky Kirsten. This year he gave us the credentials to be able to show up for the blackout game on Saturday. And again, the uniforms look just tough, and the team played that way. I don't know what it is about wearing black uniforms, bro, but it gives a different feel, and it makes people play a different style of play, a more like gritty, in your face, like almost like wearing black Air Forces. When you see somebody wearing them, it's trouble. But they came in, they played hard, and I told you during halftime, this is the best I've ever seen them play. But at least this year, like, this was the best ball that they played against Western Michigan. 34-6 was the final score. And that 6 points only came from, just a mistake on special teams. Kickoff team.
I'm not gonna lie, they did mistake, but that boy Tyler, real deal. Number 9, Tyler on Western Michigan, bro. Hey, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody talk about. I watched him that game. That boy is that real deal. He kept jumping off of them. They quarterback tried some, but he was kind of average. Tyler is real
I was
good, bro.
I was watching him from the booth going, and I had a couple of guys from Western Michigan sitting next to me, and I looked, I was like, kid's good. He's like, oh yeah, he's one of our better guys. I'm like, I can see why,
bro.
He was the X factor for that team, even though the score said otherwise.
I mean, the score said exactly what it was. He's the one that scored that 6 points. That's what I said that for. He's the one that scored that. He ran that back.
So that mistake on special, you take away that mistake on special teams, and it's a 34 skunk. They handled, Western Michigan from start to finish. I cannot say this enough. I love watching Kyrie Robinson. I love watching him run the football. The fucking cannonball just shot out of a goddamn cannon, and he's gonna bowl your ass over. That touchdown, the first touchdown that he had early, when he met the linebacker in the hole, and just
I heard it. That's why when you said, I said it. Oh, it's unmuted. God damn it.
Yeah. I thought he was responding to. I mean, so again, I just love watching Kyrie Robinson because he met the linebacker in the hole and just annihilated him. You guys can go on the social medias, on the YouTube shorts, our Instagram reels, on Twitter and everything. We put that out. Kyrie just lowers the boom on this linebacker, or it might have been the safety or something. I don't know who it was that walked up, but I don't think I ever saw the kid again, because he just took the soul out of that linebacker or safety or whatever. Kyrie just lowered his head, put the shoulders down, have that low center of gravity, and then the speed, the acceleration that he has right after Cordero gave him the ball. The kid he's talented. He's shifty. He's not afraid of contact. I love watching Kyrie run the football. And Elijah Cooks.
Hold on, before you go past Kyrie, I'm so glad you brought that player. First off, I've been talking over here muted.
Okay.
All right, so I fucked up on both occasions, right, one after each other. Just gonna put that out there for the fans. And then, bro, I'm glad you brought that up because it's a perfect time to doggone promote the podcast page on Instagram, because you have a reel of that play. If people want to see that in real time, or well, in real time,
not real time, but
day, for that day, because it was definitely you at the game.
definitely me who filmed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because they don't have my angle of it, because I definitely caught that too, and I was like, I'm so glad I'm not putting the audio out on that, because I said, "Oh shit," for sure.
Oh no!
I
If
know.
you give me, when you send me the audio,
oh shit.
I will have the better. If you have a better angle of it and everything else like that, please, when you can, send that to me. I will. I got it from there. Just send me the video.
Well,
because
you got it. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh no, your angle was fire though. That overhead angle sometimes is fucking beaut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to see your angle and where it's from, because the more angles we can get from it, the better.
Bro, I was right beside the dude with the boom, with the fucking boom dome, and I said, "Oh shit, hard as fuck." He's right beside me, dog. I know he got it. He got it. Like, bro, they had to beat that out.
Bro, you were on. You probably on CBS Sports Network. Oh shit.
Hey, I know somebody in the crew was like, "Oh shit is right." Yo.
Oh, I need to watch that back. I have to watch that back. Like, if they have it on CBS Sports, I have to watch that back to see if they possibly have.
That sound you picked though, it sounds like the guy saying, "Oh damn."
Well, no, that's what it's. The guy was like, "Man, shut your boom," and you hear at the end, "Goddamn."
Bro, it was lined up perfectly because he moved his head at the exact same time he said that shit. I'm like, yo, that was perfect. That was.
I like how I can kind of move things out. The Instagram reels, I'm kind of taking advantage of that, getting some, pretty good views and everything.
Yeah, Marky's team is doing all right. At least in that aspect, they're trying to for sure combat TikTok. They trying to get their ass up out of there.
But and then Elijah Cooks, number 4, the wide receiver.
Yo,
top shelf.
Top shelving. That's all we doing. Top shelving. I'm telling you, look, he get a top shelving shirt. Mike Evans get a top shelving shirt for sure. We got hey, I ain't gonna lie.
That I'm gonna say that's a shirt right there, top shelving. Oh, and then have the just receiver just mossing the shit out of
bro. That's been I promise you. That's why I've been trying to get you to understand. If I had a heat press today, that shirt would have been printed out yesterday. You get what I'm saying? Like, I promise you, I have so many ideas. That's why I start bringing it out, because that's my shit for the show. I'm telling you, we just use that because it's a perfect example of what's going on. You cannot reach this little fella. We are top shelving shit over here. We are putting shit up there and we're taking shit down from there. That is the only thing we're doing. You are not available for this level.
They just went up. I remember watching it, and I see the ball go up, and I see Cooks. He squares up, and as soon as I saw him square up, I'm like, oh, he's going up. Fucking full up, boom. Basically looked down at the damn kid and came around, scored. I was like, oh. And we saw him after the game, and I was like, hey, way to go top shelf on that, bro. I was like, that was fucking legit. The dude's big as shit, though, too. He's 6'4".
Bro, they pretty big. You know, both of those receivers pretty big. But
I was about to say, I was right next to him. I was like, damn, I thought I was tall. Nah,
they made the other catch the catch of the game, and that pissed me off. I'm not going to lie to you. That should have been the catch of the game. That catch was way nastier than the catch of the game they picked. I'm not going to lie to you.
It was that
balling, by the way. We got to say that.
Yeah. No, he was. That's what I'm saying. Like, that catch was a very impressive catch, but I think I gotta agree with you. He just went straight up, snatched the cookies from the cookie jar from that kid. It was again the whole game. The team just played well. You know, the O line played well. The defense,
Honestly, bro,
Kyle the beast.
I think we agreed on it at the game that game against the SEC helped all of them mature as football players. Like it helped them so much, even though the game was the way how it ended and they lost. The fact that the way they lost, like they really could have won that game. It came down to a few plays.
They competed.
Right. It came down to a few plays. So it gave them the confidence, like we are in line with these boys. And we also hear the SEC is supposed to be the best division in the NCAA. The best conference, I see division, the best conference in the NCAA. We just stood toe to toe with one of their teams. Yeah. And shit. And then the way they just beat fucking who they just whooped on, was it Missouri? They whooped on somebody this week, on Auburn. They whooped on somebody this week.
I don't know. Yeah. No, they took out their anger on that other team.
I'm telling you, and I'm like, bro, San Jose State really could have beat them boys. Like, really could have beat them boys. That's why, like, that's probably how I got so unprofessional, because I was really like, yo, and then, bro, I'm telling you, you missed. I'm pretty sure that was Kyle hit somebody, and I'm like, yo, did you see that hit? You were like, no. I'm like, you just walked past it.
No, there were a few especially when Kyle, the dog, when the fucking Kyle came in on that 4th down play and just smacked the shit out of that running back, put him down before he can cross the line of scrimmage. I was like, oh my God. I mean, this kid's fucking everywhere. Well, he's everywhere. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. You know, saw him at the beginning, you know, took a picture with him and stuff, and, you know, said what's up and told him, hey, good luck today, fucking ball out. And I mean, you don't have to tell the kid, he's just going to do it. Because he was just, the kid's just,
you got to do
it. He was all over. Cade was just, Cade was everywhere.
Balling.
Yeah, just an absolute monster on the line.
Whoa,
Fehoko. Oh bro.
Killing. He was killing, but their DBs was out there. Like I think it was 24. Oh my God, he was short and scrappy. He was out there, bro. They was clicking. They were clicking.
Every part of that defense that day, that night, it couldn't have been any better. It couldn't have been any better. I mean, there were a couple of, obviously, there's no such thing as a perfect day, but that one was pretty fucking close. That was pretty damn close to a team that beat their ass last year. You know, they came back and basically said, the defense especially said, you know,
you damn.
In light of the theme of the night for the 408, on defense, your offense isn't fucking touching this end zone. You're not scoring in our house.
Crossing the 50 to be off real. They had a very hard time.
Real. Like anybody go back and watch the highlights and everything. The San Jose State defense was there to shut everything down. Everything down, and they did. And it for Western Michigan, it was not pretty. It was a bad day for Western Michigan. Absolutely bad day. Now, there is something that happened during the game. You guys can still hear me and everything else like that. I'm just gonna walk over and grab it real quick. For those of you who didn't know, for those, you already know. For those of you who didn't know, MC Hammer showed up at the game. His presence was well known. You know, they were playing pretty much all of his music the entire night. You know, having everybody dance and all that. Everyone's having a good time. People were taking pictures with him. You know, Hammer doing all. It's a good time. Halftime comes. I figured MC Hammer's here. Kay said he's already got a couple pictures of him, so that's cool. I was like, that's fine. I was like, I need to get him to sign the helmet right next to Coach Zoe. You know, because as we know, Coach Zoe is a former dancer for MC Hammer and everything else like that. Now, I get to Hammer, shake his hand. He signs the helmet right next to Coach Zoe. As he gets done, okay, hands me my pen, I grab everything back. Well, part of the band or the high school bands and stuff like that that were coming in that were being featured and all that other kind of stuff with San Jose State were coming in. So we had to move from where we were at. Well, when I did that, I did one of these and put the helmet under my arm to move out of the way. When I did that, the marker wasn't dry yet. So that little nice pretty smudge is what the outcome of that whole thing was. Now, as I'm walking back, knowing what I have already done, that was a long 50-yard walk over to Country K. That was a long and very thoughtful walk. Seeing him looking at me, realizing something went wrong, because I'm not happy. I showed him, and the look of not just disgust, but overall joy on how hilarious the situation was. Kay couldn't help himself.
I was in a laugh.
He couldn't help himself.
It was outside.
He was head facing his hand, just like shaking his head, and I can see him just shaking. Just I can see him just bobbing up and down like he's laughing his ass off. He is literally just sitting here, just you dumb motherfucker, you dumb son of a bitch. Immediately gets a hold of Matt Six. Immediately texts Matt Six. Hey, yo. JP's stupidity essentially struck again.
Oh,
So
instantly hit him at Six.
I just instantly did it. Kay's just like, I'm looking at this. Kay's like, you know, the value of that helmet went from really high to just nothing. I was like, well, fuck. I don't know what else to. I was like, I obviously can't get rid of it. You know, I don't know how to get permanent marker off of a helmet.
Nope.
You know, I think it's pretty much there forever now. But Kay goes, just walk up to him and ask him, just show him what happened and see if he'll sign it again. Me, I'm already embarrassed enough as it is. Now I have to literally walk up to MC Hammer, show him my fuck up, apologize,
You know what's funny?
and hope that he'll do it again.
The funniest part about all of this to me is the fact that Josh is from Texas, but he fucking also was raised in San Jose. So the Texas is gonna come out of him during his embarrassment. So he's basically, in the figurative sense, Josh was walking up with his hat to his chest, like, "Sir, can you please, if you will graciously sign enough, please resign the helmet because I am a dumbass, sir."
It's funny that you say that because that's essentially what happened.
I know.
Oh, this kid had his eyes on me the whole time, walking over there with the helmet, just looking at it like, oh fuck, oh my god damn it. What am I gonna say? What am I gonna? Shit. Oh, walking over there. All right. Oh fuck, he's walking my way. He's getting closer. Shit. He finally gets up to me, and I look at the helmet. I look at him, and I go, Mr. Hammer, I hate to do this to you. Word for word. I hate to do this to you. But I literally said, but I showed him the helmet where the smudge was, and he said, I didn't leave it like that. I know. When we moved from the bands, when I moved it over, the marker was still wet, and it smudged the helmet. And him and the group of guys that he had, they're just sitting there just fucking chuckling, going like, this fucking guy, look at him. And I was like, would you mind signing it, again, close to Coach Zoe's or next to it or whatever? And he goes, yeah, no problem, man. So he grabs the helmet and he signs it again on so Coach Zoe's signature is right here, right? He signs it again on this side here. Okay, so he's essentially kind of next to Coach Zoe. And then cracks a joke, says, here, let me put it on this side too, just in case you smudge that side. So it's so nice. He signed it twice. He signed it right here, and then he signed it. Who's this one right here? He signed it underneath Tyler Nevins, right here on the other side. So he's like, "I'll sign it again, so you don't smudge the other one." I was like, "Appreciate it, man." I was like, "That's really nice of you. I appreciate that." Yeah. So now I have what Kay calls. What did you call it? Two foolproofs and what'd you call it? Two something and a half. Two fools and a partial or some shit. Like, what did you?
Oh, I know. I said you got two and a possible. You got 2 books and a possible. I use spade terms. That's what I was using. I was like, when you said impossible, I was like, oh yeah, I used spade terms when I made that reference. I said you got 2 and a possible.
Possible meaning if anybody looked at it and I said it was MC Hammer, they would look at the smudge, go, it's possible.
It's possible. But if you squint your eyes the right way, but this shit don't look like
you can see the MC. You can see the MC in the H very clearly. It's everything else after that.
That shit could be MC Hemorrhage. The way it's smudged. like some British dude.
So, again, I appreciate Hammer for signing it again, and being obviously a good sport about it, and obviously being able to laugh at my own stupidity, realizing the situation was as funny as it was. Coming back, showing Kay, and Kay's just, oh man, I'm still just reminiscing on Kay literally looking at me, hearing what I said, and then doing this.
Mm-mm. Yep.
Shoulder shakes, just laughing.
Yep.
And then I got to tell Mad Sticks. I got.
Gymnastics. He's not here. He needs to know this. I can't leave him out.
Oh man. I mean, also real quick, and I want to give it. I really do want to give a shout out to Sky. Because um, as most of the people who watch this show and listen to this show know, we are very new in what you would call the media game, in like covering teams and doing it. We're very new at that. Okay, we're not the we are not what most of these guys are that were around us. So most of the people who that we see and talk to and do what we're doing, the media aspect of it, have degrees in it, have been practicing doing it, and have been doing it for a very, very long period of time. And we have not. So learning the ins and outs of what you can and cannot do as a media member. I really appreciate Sky because I'm not supposed to be bringing this up. I mean, I can bring it. I just can't. It's just got to be a prop. Nobody can be signing it. I can't be seeing any, and nobody can see me going to get signatures, all that other kind of stuff. Like that can't happen. So I don't want to get Sky into trouble. I don't want, because he's been awesome. He's been putting his, a good word in for us. He's been helping us out. He's, helped get Kyle Harmon onto the show and, helped us get more media access and everything else. Really kind of showing us the ropes in the process of how, at least how things they get done there in San Jose State. But I really do appreciate him being able to tell me, you know, instead of being, because I feel like anywhere else would have been like, all right, can't do it. Credentials are cut. Sorry. But he just said, because I told him it's a prop. It's literally a prop for the show. All the guests that we've had on the show who are affiliated with San Jose State in some way, shape, or form, whether a coach or a player, we would like to have them sign the helmet, because they've been part of the show. We have this as a prop for the show. This is not for sale. This is not something that, oh, I've got James Jones on here. I got all these, yeah, I've got all this stuff, and everything. This is not that. This
Yeah,
is to commemorate
our experience.
essentially our experience and our beginnings, really,
Yeah.
of how we got to where we are. So this is something that we're going to be essentially keeping forever. We're going to get it filled up as much as possible. Then I'm going to get it put into a nice case, and then when we get the studio built and everything else like that, that'll be presented nice and neat up there. And that's what that's for, and that's always been the purpose of why I bring it, even with the media credentials and everything else like that. It's not for anything. That we're there to cover the game. We're there to show our viewers and listeners what it's like behind the scenes, what it's like in the press box, what it's like down on the field with the camera crews and everything else like that, getting all the views and everything from there. It's just not stuff that they see every day, because that's not something that we've done all the time. It's a new experience for us as well. So to be able to do this and to be able to have, Sky just be like, hey, just next time, to be more careful. I was like, I'm just not going to bring it. If we're at a different, he basically said, with the media credentials, we should look at it as work. Like we're going to a job, we're going to work, be professional. Got it. I get it. That's fine. Completely understand. You only have to tell me once. You're never going to have to tell me again. I completely get that. So if it's another like function or something like that it doesn't involve, media credentials and all that other kind of stuff, or meet and greets or whatever it may be, I'll get whoever it is to sign it, and that kind of stuff. We'll go from there. That's fine. Again, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. That's the last thing, myself or Kay, or Mad Six or anybody that's affiliated with the All Pro JAFFOs would want to do. We're just we're new to the game. We're learning as we go, and we appreciate everyone that's been nice enough to actually give us some guidance throughout this whole thing, because we have ideas. They're good ideas, but other people have ways to kind of make those even better, and we like to learn from other people. Leslie, oh my God, absolute wealth of information. Leslie Jackson for Gunner Sports, wealth of information. Helping me realize certain things about the social media aspects of everything. And since I've taken her advice, things just the followers are coming. They're just going and going and going and going and everything else like that. So I appreciate her advice. Sky picking his brain on every aspect of the media parts of college football, of San Jose State and stuff like that. Him being able to communicate and give us great information and ways to be better at doing that. We appreciate the hell out of him. Coach Zoe, always talking to him, always fun talking to him. Dude's energetic, great character. He's just a fun person to be around. And it's just everybody that's involved, anybody that's helped us along the way, we take that to heart, and we really do appreciate that. Because it's only going to make us better, and it's only going to make us do what we want to do in the best way that we can, without doing anything foul, or we want to do it the right way. So for everybody to be able to give us the information that they have and stuff, we really appreciate that. And we've had every interaction and stuff like that we've had in San Jose State, we have some sort of story to tell about what happened. Usually my fuck ups is is what
That has
gets
thing. I'm just saying that has been the common thing. I feel like my favorite story is the Cadero thing. Cadero thing. The way he looked at you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. That was the worst one of all. That was the worst one of everything. I've been roasted by my heroes, or by a hero of mine on my birthday, because of the fact that I switched up teams and everything. Like when Marshall Faulk just went after me, he just went after my head. I'm like, hey, like all of these pretty ridiculous stories seem to be happening to me. Not to anybody else's fault but my own. Okay, because I'm self-aware. Okay, I'm accountable. I can admit when I do dumb shit, and it just so happens to be in situations that I need to be at my best, and I'm not.
That's definitely gonna be one of the videos. I'm definitely writing that down. I gotta make a top 5 moment of all of our fuck ups. I've said some shit.
I have more than any of you guys. I have more than you or Matchsticks combined.
That's a given, but I'm saying 5 though.
This whole list is going to be basically JP's fuck ups.
No,
top 5 JP fuck ups.
It's gonna be 5 each. It's gonna be 5 of us each. So it'll be 15 fuck ups, but it's 5 apiece.
Hey, you have not. What is Matchsticks? Matchsticks is what, besides rooting for the Cowboys? Is that going to be all 5?
He's a Cowboys fan.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is all top 5 of his fuck ups going to be Cowboys related?
Or maybe the Jets. I don't know. He said some shit. Said some wild shit. He definitely said some shit like the fucking Bucs was gonna lose to the Cowboys. We need both of those in there. That shit didn't age well at all.
I'm just looking at it going like, all of my fuck up, they have. I mean, we all have fuck ups with each other and everything else like that. But all of the fuck ups that like with guests, anything that has to do with the guest or somebody that we're meeting, it's all me. It's all me that's making the.
Bro.
K, Matchsticks, they're good. They never have problems. Never have problems. Matter of fact, I think K is the most well-liked human being on the planet. Anybody who sees K remembers him. Hey, what's up? Daps him up. All that shit. That he's the most well-liked human being. They look at me and go, man, you're cool, but you just good. They can't even put a word on it. They're just like, huh.
I don't know.
You need to learn more. You need to learn more.
I don't understand that shit either. I promise you, I'm confused just as much as you.
Hey, I mean, it is what there's a dynamic here. Okay,
It's a balance. Sure. It's definitely a balance. And I feel like all three of us in the same room, it'll be even more of a balance because Mastics, we've seen it in action. Mastics behind the table, man. It's a lot of energy there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was saying he want to do that, and I'm like, I want to see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Make sure y'all check out one of his shows, man.
Thank God I'm like I can actually laugh at
it. Yeah, I know.
That does suck. It is constantly me though.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
One of these days it's gonna be you guys, and I'm gonna be on the floor crying when it does.
I know, but here's the thing. I'm so self-aware. I knew the Bucks weren't gonna do shit the first year of the show. I told you. I understand how good my defense is. I understand that BA's supposed to be this quarterback whisperer. I understood everything that everyone was saying. Jameis Winston was so bad. He was going to drive the boat to the motherfucking depths of the abyss where Jacques Cousteau's box is.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm self-aware too. I go over scenarios in my head. You know, I think about it. It's just when it comes to the actual action, sometimes just the brain lapses and just goes, I don't know what to do here. You're on your own.
Motherfucker just packs up and dip. He just
hey, figure it out by yourself.
This motherfucker, he gets the problem on the prompter. He's like, well,
it's up to you.
It's quit
While
time.
I'm sitting here fucking drooling, you're going, why doesn't my brain work?
Because all the other fucking parts is running around your brain. All your other emotions run around your brain like inside out. Ah, the signal is going
shit's
off
on fire. Like
he's just sitting there. And somebody bumps into something and you just say some shit.
What's your last name again? Cordero. Oh, that wasn't easy at all. No, that was absolutely so difficult.
You brought that shit up. You brought it up.
I know.
Honestly,
I know.
Button. When I brought up the Hawaiian shit, I thought I pressed the button.
You made it worse by saying that, actually. You made it 10 times worse, because then right after you said that, and this was all off camera, right after you said that, he looked dead at me and went,
Yo, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be all the way honest with you. Oh, when you said that shit on the show, I'm like, Josh is going to ask this shit in person. I swear to you, he's going to ask it in person. Oh, bro. Oh, he's going to ask it in person. I know it. I'm going to say this shit. I knew it. Oh, fuck, I'm crying. Yo.
we all got to start somewhere and we all make mistakes. That's all I got to say.
I played that movie out in my head 1,000 times when you said that shit on the show before that practice. I was driving to the fucking practice, like seeing this clip happen. I did not expect
and
him
you couldn't warn me?
Oh, for fucking what?
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'll take. Yeah, that's all right. I'll take that.
You drove that plane. Like I grabbed the parachute and you said, I can save this ride. I said, well. You had two names to pick, and you picked the last name. Look, once Coach Brennan
I already knew the first one. I already knew Siobhan.
the fuck is.
I
know
already knew the first
I
name
know
though. Siobhan.
I'm telling you, I would have been Chevelle, Chevron, Chevin. All right, cool.
Sky said it perfect to me. He said, Chevron without the R.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay, Siobhan. All right, yeah, that's easy. And then when I figured that one out, I completely blanked out on his last name.
Yep.
Even though I can look at it and go Cordero, or if you pronounce it how it's spelled, Cordiero. But when I was going to say it, but then for some reason, I just couldn't get it out. I couldn't get out what the fucking last name was. I knew it, couldn't get it out. But
that
hey,
shit's fucking funny.
I know it was. It was for you. It was for me in hindsight, but in the moment, I was just like, nah.
Yo.
And I was like, I promise you, I'll get better. I promise.
I have to
promise.
look and see if I got that goddamn. If I got the look he has, I'm gonna take that still, and it's gonna be a background.
It's all on the social medias. It's all on the shorts. It's all on the Instagrams and YouTube. It's all there. It's all there.
That's right.
So you can see it in his face, and I think I'm gonna watch it back and then take a screenshot of what the face was, and then send it to you so you can use it as the background.
Oh, need a part on Instagram.
Yeah. When Chevin Cordero looked at JP like, you dumb motherfucker. I'm getting better, guys. I promise. I promise. But at least it's authentic.
I promise you, this ride is so funny, bro. The ride of you trying to get better is so fucking funny. Oh my god, crying still. This shit is so funny, yo. That was so fucking funny.
Hey, I mean, there's gonna be highs and there's gonna be lows.
I'm looking at another low right now.
Yeah.
Right, goddamn.
Hey, the next one is coming soon. It's just pending, to be determined at this point of what it's gonna be in this moment. But guys, appreciate you guys hanging out with us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook and Twitch. The All Pro JAFFOs on Twitter and Instagram. PvP Studios for Twitch, and for both Facebook and YouTube, be sure to go to Tornado Rose Productions for both of those. For YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to remind you every single time we go live or anytime we drop any sort of content. Thanks, Hans, for hanging out and talking boxing with us. Appreciate you. Sunshine, for getting on here and talking to us. Yep. When I brought that up, he's like, "You're really gonna use that every time I end?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "Okay." I was like, "Yep." You make my life a living hell outside of the podcast. It's only right that I return the favor during the podcast.
Oh, he's gonna get you. He's definitely gonna
I
get
know.
you. That
You
okay?
think I know that?
Oh, I know, and I want to see it. I want to be there. I want to witness this.
You're not going to. It'll be some sort of stealth move that nobody fucking saw coming. I promise you. But yeah, appreciate Sunshine for hanging out with us and talking F1. And then you guys listening to yet another notorious fuck up by JP. First with Chevin Cordero, and now with MC Hammer of all people. Yeah. So I seem to have a mean streak when dealing with famous people of having brain fart events happening with me. Yep. Yep, it is what it is. But you guys are here. You guys support. You guys apparently like what we do. Um, so once again, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, for listening on Spotify, for watching on YouTube and everywhere else. For the All Pro JAFFOs. I'm JP. This is Country K, and we will see you guys on Friday. Corey Hammond with us on Friday. Don't forget, talking college football and everything else. Let's see, you're gonna maybe have a packed up show. We got some new things and new structure and everything like that set up. So the show's gonna be a little bit more fluid. And we're gonna have more shit to talk about. So once again, appreciate you guys for hanging out. JP, Coach K, deuces.
Aloha.